so we'll talk about that. But I'll tell you, it starts with being simple about everything you do. So that's the biggest thing. But I just say that for one reason. I say it to understand that, hey, it's real deal money. It's very serious money, right? Because I don't know what the median income is in the state of Texas. It could be higher than the rest of the state. I know you guys are a whole different, like your own country out here, right? But
Yeehaw!
Yeah.
Yeehaw!
I'll tell you, I always love
Can I do a
that. I will tell you this though, regardless of the middle income for Texas is, I know we make a lot of, hey, if you wouldn't have waited, I wouldn't have said anything to you. You could have snuck in and.
Oh.
What's your name?
Right.
Brian?
Right.
Ronnie.
Yes.
Nice to meet you, Ronnie. I'm Jared. Hey, I'll shake your hand. Good to see you, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Great.
So let's start with that. So let's talk about, everybody get this down? We good? So anybody need a clear?
What's your last four on your?
0963. 0963. Oh, yeah.
Your handwriting's terrible, Jared.
Man, this is not working out for me. It's like half it's raising up. It's going to be on there permanently for the rest of the day for y'all, so there you go. All right. So let's talk about the business real fast. So let's talk about Equus. So let me kind of tell you about Equus. So first of all, hopefully all you guys know Equus is a relatively new company. It's only been in place for about 16 months now. We are currently paying about just shy of $3 million every single month, which is a pretty good run rate. It means we're pushing on the $36 million run rate. By the end of the year, we're forecast to be doing over $4 million a month. Our goal in the next 20 months is to be doing $8 million a month, which will be putting us on a rate of $100 million a year. At $100 million a year, we will be the biggest person in this industry by leaps and bounds, but we think we can do it. Equity, I will tell you this. There's two parts to this, and I remember this, I was just talking about this earlier. There's two parts to this business that we do, right? We sell insurance, teach others how to sell, but just so you understand, let's explain both the concepts. So the first one is we market out to new homeowners and refinancees. We do a product called mortgage protection. Is everybody aware of that? Who is not? If you're not, please raise your hand. I do want to explain. Everybody know what mortgage protection is?
Could you slow down and go back just a minute? You were speaking kind of fast.
I know, yeah, that's okay. So we market out to new homeowners and refinancees with a product called mortgage protection. Are you familiar with what mortgage protection is? Anybody not? Should I explain it anyway? Because I'm sure somebody doesn't, is like, I don't want to raise my hand. Here's what mortgage protection is, all right? It's a life insurance product, a life insurance policy that's marketed out to new homeowners or refinancees, right? It's just a kitschy, cool way of marketing out life insurance, right? So what we do is we tap a market that is not your traditional life insurance market. We market out to those folks. We send out mailers. Has everybody seen what the mailers look like? Who has not seen what the mailers? You have not? Okay. Does anybody have one of those in here? I should have asked somebody to bring one. Do you guys?
A whole bunch of them.
Give me a one of each of those two. See the call-ins, that's fine.
That's one there.
Yep.
Thank you. Give me one of the call-ins.
Oh, he's
Oh, you got one.
We'll get you. We got you. We got you. So here, let me explain these to you.
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He hasn't been licensed yet. He's still here.
Okay, so what we do is we send out marketing like this to new homeowners and refinancees. We send out a direct mail marketing. So every single one of our clients gets it. Now, when they get it, they have the opportunity to do one of three things. They can fill it out by hand, or they can go on the website that's attached to it and fill it out, or they can actually call into our telemarketing center, which is what these are. This is the calling version of it, all right? Yeah, which is all this. So here's the three ways they come back and look like, just like this. So just so you know. So when they do, obviously they fill out all their information with their name, date of birth, height, weight, smoker status, phone number, and then if it's direct mail, they sign the box, all right? So these are the people that we're going out and we're seeing. So would everybody agree that this is a pretty good version of a lead?
Yeah.
You can? Okay. Who haven't seen it? Yeah, a few of y'all haven't seen it. You ever seen it? Do me a favor, you can just kind of pass them around. I appreciate it. So we send market out to that, okay? What we have available is we have a good lead system that's in place. So if you have it, if you're not familiar with our lead system, let's explain it real fast. There's 5 different types. Let's just focus on 3 because there's some middle types. 3 types of leads, okay? So 3 types of leads we have. We have A leads, we have B leads, and we have C leads. Okay? These are the new ones, a little older, and a lot older. That's how I explain it. There's some dates that go behind them, like 45 days, 90 days, so on and so forth. Just know that they start off at $41, $6, and $2. So you can understand that you get what you pay for. Everybody clear with that? Anybody have questions about this?
And
real
you're doing
fast?
A-Loop with this
No?
company, right?
I will tell you
Are you
this, that
making
these
money?
are all mathematically, everything in this business can be calculated. Every time you get 10 A leads, you should be able to write $3,000 to $4,000 of premium every single time. And then and this is the part that kind of always screws people up, so let's just explain this. If you get B leads, just understand, a dollar amount is a dollar amount, right? Does that make sense what you're doing? Shane. So if you spent $410 on A leads, and you spent $100 on B, you're not gonna generate the same volume as you would on those A leads, right? That makes sense, right? Simple mathematics. So just understand, don't think that you're gonna, I love when people, Shane, tell me that, I got a B lead and I sold $2,500 in premium off it. I'm like, great, then how much more did you sell? And they're like, I sold nothing, but I bought, $300 worth of those leads. Okay, well, that's okay, the math is good. Just understand, the math evens itself out. Does that make sense? The number one producer in the entire country will tell you right now, he has never been able to best $3,000 to $4,000 per 10 A leads. Never. Never been able to best it. His net deposits last year was $274,000 after all expenses, and he's never been able to best $3,000 to $4,000 per 10 A leads. Does that make sense, y'all? Everybody following? Yeah.
I don't get that.
Yeah,
I don't
what?
understand that. Yeah, we need to reword that, reword that.
Oh,
Best it.
Oh,
that's
Do
fine.
better than.
Better than. I don't speak
this
to
is
me,
Texas,
so-
man.
Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah.
slow it down.
Yeah, we didn't get it.
So every time you get 10, no, you're good. I want to
Used to
explain
it,
this.
man. You gotta-
So every time you get 10 A leads, you're gonna write $3,000 to $4,000 in premium off. Does that make sense? Let me explain it a little bit simpler. Every time if you buy 10 A leads, you're gonna write 3 to 4 deals every single time out of 10. Does that make sense? So out of 10 leads, you're gonna close 3 to 4. Is that easier to understand? I wanna make sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, you should book 7 to 8 sales every single time you get 10. But I just want to make sure, before we're going to get into that part, I just want to make sure everybody understands the lead part. Does everybody understand the lead part? Yep. Anybody have questions about lead part? No? Because I got confused just then. Alright, let's make sure. Alright, so we market out to new homeowners, refinancees. This is what we do. Every time we make a sell, the average sell is $1,000. Alright, so that's the average sell nationwide is $1,000 in annual premium. So if the premium payment's $80 a month, times 12, that's what it comes out to be. Does that make sense? Everybody following? The one nice thing, if you're looking at us, is everything in our business is calculated. It's very simple to understand if you just look at the mathematics of it all. Alright, so just understand if you're like, who's brand new? You were brand new, right? So like I said, you spend $410, right? So let's do simple mathematics, right? And this market doesn't work for me. So if you spent $410, you follow? So $410, you should close, let's just say $3,500. You got a calculator? What's your name? Sandra, you got a calculator? Listen, you got, I don't do math, so. I can barely talk slow. I don't want to do math. So you're gonna write, let's just say on average $3,500. Does that make sense? Your contract is 70%, right? That's the starting comp of the company. Does that make sense? So what's 70% of $3,500?
$2,450.
So ultimately, you're gonna make $2,450. Now, you might have a couple fall-offs, because that happens occasionally, but just to say,
Hello.
on average, you should walk away with $2,400, right? Now, if you subtract the $400, let's just make it simple, and say I'm gonna walk away with $2,000 out of it. Now, if you subtract gas and a little bit of miscellaneous costs, let's just say every time you buy that $400 worth of lead, $410 worth of leads, you make $1,700 net in your pocket. Does that make sense? Is that how many of y'all owned businesses before? You own a business? What's your name again?
Alex.
Alex. So if every time you spend $400 and you netted $1,700, so you're basically netting 3 times your investment, right? Is that good?
Yeah,
That's pretty-
We'll do it 3 times.
Huh?
We'll do 3 times.
We'll do 3 times your investment, right? But that's good, right? For a business, what kind of business you own?
Real estate.
Real estate business. So, I mean, you would spend tons of money advertising, right? So who else owns businesses in here? What'd you own?
Commercial real estate.
Real estate. Who didn't? How about other real estate? What'd you own? Yes, sir.
Farmers Insurance Agency.
Farmers insurance. So same thing. I mean, is it 3 times your investment? Is that what you got out of it? Is that good?
That's good.
That's
This is-
good.
This is good.
How about you, ma'am?
Work for a real estate company.
man, what is this? All like,
Texas.
Texas, man.
You got more land than anything else, right?
Thank you for having something other than real estate. So you had a vending business, right? So it's 3 times your investment good?
Way good.
And what you bought, right? So Bob, here's where most people go wrong, right? So it's standard. Here's where most people go wrong, is they look and they see a cost of leads, like this marker just gets worse. They see the cost of leads, and they go out and they spend $410. They make, let's just say 16 to keep it simple, they make 1,600, and then you know what they don't do? Buy more leads.
Exactly.
They try, because here's what inevitably will happen, Bob. It happens every time. You'll go out, you'll buy this, you'll make this, but you only got a hold of like 4 leads. And all of a sudden you made $1,600 off of them. So you go, I still got 6 more to work. The numbers are the numbers. If you hit this number out of your leads, move on. Keep buying leads. And reinvest your money into those leads, because you're going to get a 3 to 4 times multiple out of it every single time. Does that make sense? Everybody following on that? So that's the one thing I want to emphasize most. All right. So that's the first thing. So we make sales, right now. So we make sales. That's your return. That's what you're going to get off your leads. We're good on that. Okay. So we make sales. So that's what the company does. Mark's out. We have leads all over the country right now. Matter of fact, they currently have over $400,000 of leads already in the inventory right now. Right now. Is there any in Texas?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a few. Okay, good. So I was like, great, someone gonna pull up the map and they're gonna be 0 in Texas. So we have leads in Texas, right? And our company markets out and advances the mailing, the money for the mailing in advance. Does that follow? You guys follow that? So that's the first thing we do. The second thing we do is we build agencies. This is the part that people don't like to hear sometimes. Listen, the one thing I'll tell you is sales. So how many of y'all have done sales prior to this? How many of y'all have done sales? All right, quite a few. So you salespeople, and even non-salespeople will understand this. Thank you for that. We'll understand. Salespeople get tired, right? Agree or disagree? Agree, right? You real estate guys, agree? It gets tiring. As a matter of fact, I'm buying another house, and I was meeting with a real estate agent, and I said, only day I have available Sunday. And they're like, okay, and I just knew on the other end of the phone, they were just like, I hate him. Maybe he can come out on a Sunday and show a house. Right? But salespeople get tired. The reason for the emphasis on building an agency is because this is where extra income is going to come from. This is where long-term income comes from. Now here's what happens a lot, right? So people either put an emphasis on one or the other. Let me be clear about something. This is for quick cash. I'm sorry if you can't read this. So this is quick cash. What do I mean by that? You can go out and make sales. Like how many of y'all are not licensed yet? Not licensed. So there's a few of y'all. Just understand, when you go out and get your license and you're done, you should be eligible within 24 to 48 hours from getting your license, book appointments and start running sales. You get paid. That turnaround time on a policy should average 72 hours. So within 4 to 5 days from getting a license, you should go out and be able to make money right away. Does that make sense? Like where are my real estate people? I know you are one. Who else was real estate? Real estate. After you got your license, how quick did you sell your first house?
Took a while. That was a long time
Took
ago.
a month, 2,
A few months.
few months. Do you see what I'm saying? Big difference. Does that work? You're awesome. Seriously, is it permanent? They give me dead So, and I just started so quick. Oh, dude, you're amazing. You're my new hero, Bruce.
Does it erase?
So quick. At this point, I don't care anymore. But so quick cash, all right? So you can go out and make sales within your first 3 to 5 days going out after you get your license. Now, here to the people who have their license, who haven't done it that quick, there's a problem. You need to get out quicker and do stuff. We're going to resolve that issue today because you should be out selling. Does that make sense? Everybody following on this? Yeah. This is your long term. Let me give you an example. So, for instance, when we came on with Equus back in February of last year, right? So February of last year, it was me and 3 other guys that came on with me. We started with Equus. Our team was 4 of us. Is that, are you following so far? 4. From February to December, right? We went from doing 0 to doing $100,000 average a week. Does that make sense? Huh? Between the 4 of us as a team. But what that equated to on my side was $700,000 in income. Does that make sense? So if you go, does it have to take a long time to build? It does not have to take a long time to build. But I always ask people the question, what if this took you 4 to 5 years to do it, and then 4 to 5 years later you were doing that? Would that make sense? You see what I'm saying? That's great, right? So, but the problem is a lot of people, we're instant gratification people, and the sales side kind of messes us up occasionally because we think we should be making money and building a team that fast. And sometimes it's not as fast. It's your long-term investment. That's what you're trying to do. It's your long-term. But understand, the one thing, and I love Rick Azurri, #1 producer in the country last year, Rick Azurri, right? And Rick's been with me for a few years now. The one thing Rick says all the time, he said, you know what the difference between me and Jared is? And people always say, what? He goes, at January 1st, I start out at 0. He doesn't. Because I have people that are continuously going out and making sales. Does that make sense? So you want to start investing into building an agency. A lot of people get a kind of a bad taste in their mouth about building agencies because of something else they've tried to do. Listen, can I be clear with y'all? We're never going to push y'all to do this. Never. If you told me after this, you said, hey, listen, I have no interest in building an agency, I would just go, okay, I don't care. I mean, it's not going to stop me from doing it, but if you don't want to do it, I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. I'm just telling you, when the guy originally, I was just telling Kimberly about this, when the guy originally pitched me on this business, he told me, every time you make a sale, you make $500, and you make 10% of everything your team does. That sold me enough to go out and build an agency. Now, some people need more explanation than that. I just did simple math and go, if my team did 20 grand a week, I made $2,000, you know, so, and if I made 5 sales a week, I made $2,500, made simple math, right? Does that make sense to y'all? Did y'all get explained that way when you first saw the insurance world? They explained it that easily to you? You make $500 for a sale, 10% of anything your team does? Would that have been simpler if they just explained it like that? I mean, yeah, it was really easy for me. I thought it was really simple. So this is the part of business that we do. Now here's some things that you guys might not know about. So did y'all know, or maybe not, that Equus has 3 bonus structures? Let me explain this to you. 3 bonus structures. There's a sales bonus, so anybody who pays over $10,000 in premium gets a bonus off everything they do. It's a percentage. It jumps. It's a scaling percentage. It goes up as you sell more. All right. There's a producer's bonus. There's a manager's bonus. Manager's bonus. If your team does over $50,000, and I know you can't see half this, but I write it down so I can remember it. If your team does over $50,000, which is $12,500 a week in paid business, you get a percentage of your team's volume as a bonus. It's a scaling bonus as well. The more your team does, the more your bonus gets. Does that make sense? Everybody following? The third one is equity in the company. If you hear any manager's call ever, if you listen to the RM call on Mondays, if you listen to the Friday manager's call, which you're all invited to, please do if you want to, but if you do, you'll hear all managers talk about the equity bonus. The reason why is because everybody's always, thank you so much. Are those permanent? That would be awesome. Oh, thank you. You're all over. You don't like me writing all over the place like this? But the company pays out equity every single month to its top managers. Now, anybody and everybody can qualify for it. But if your team does $175,000 paid business, you get a 1/4% equity in the company's paid volume. So, for instance, like last month, our bonus was $6,000 last month for the equity bonus, and it goes up every single month. Does that make sense? So, is everybody following with that? Here's the cool part. There's 3 different levels. There's 0.5% and 3/4% based upon 175, 275, and 375. So if you're a business professional in here and you have a long-term scaled view at what we're doing here, understand this is where the big money's at. Because if the company starts hitting 8 million, which is on its projection scale and it's on its path to get there quick, at 8 million, the lowest bonus is $20,000 a month. So just so you know. So if you go, why should I build an agency? 20,000, 40,000, 60,000 at 8 million. That's the bonus levels. Thank you. There's all kinds of cleaning pack stuff in here now. We're all over. You got magic erasers in here now. That's what I'm talking about. Magic eraser. All right. Does that make sense to y'all? Everybody following with this? Here's what a lot of people don't understand. So, y'all know, everybody know how insurance works? Everybody know how? I know you're looking at us. You know how insurance works? Like you go out and sell a policy, you sell a $1,000 policy. What's your name again, man? Right in the back. Straight dead center. You, yep.
Dan.
Dan. Thanks, Dan. So if you sell $1,000 policy, you make percentage 70% off it, right? $700 per thousand. If the policy stays in force for 9 months, you get, it's completely paid. You get advanced all the money, right? The person cancels the policy, you get charged back, just like if you worked at a store that you make commission on, you sold something, you get brought back, same concept, right? This money right here is non-chargebackable. It's not tied to anything. That's another big plus on this side, is because it's just pure cash in your bank account. That's a big deal. So if you understand how this works, right, Max? This is a big deal.
Huge.
I mean, and understand, $8 million, the top level is gonna be earning $720,000 annually, not including the overrides. If if you're at this level doing $375,000, you're gonna be probably making a cool $1.5 million to $2 million at that point. Now, some people look at it and go, gosh, are they trying to pitch us on making millions of dollars? No. I'm just telling you what you could do if you hit that level. It's up to you if you want to. So, makes sense? Anybody have any questions about this yet? Bonuses? No? You sure? No? There's looks like some people might have some questions. Going once? Going twice? All right, good. All right, so this is, so that's that. This doesn't work either. Does that work? Fine. It works better. Good. All right. So now let me kind of explain real quick kind of what the path Equus is on. So our company is looking to hit $100 million exceptionally quick. The one thing we want to make sure we are very clear with everybody is Equus is the agent's company. That's what we stand by. The reason why that's so important to the company is because they think the only expense you should have would be your monetary, like little driving gas expenses, and then just your leads. That should be the only expense that you should have in this business. There should be no major expenses other than that. You should be able to go out and calculate how much you're going to make every single month based upon that. They stand by that. They're also, the reason why they're the agent's company is they're investing heavily into the infrastructure to help better the company and better the agent as a whole. So they invested $1 million into the infrastructure for the training system last year. They're continuing to invest into the CRM systems. They're putting a lot of money into it. And if you don't know anything about the president of the company, he really does want to make sure that you guys understand that you're super important to the company, and he knows that. So you should have access to anybody at any of the corporate offices during any business hours that you can possibly get a hold of them. So you always, like for instance, one of the things I love, that you can actually get someone live on the phone every time you call the corporate office. They're there to help you guys. So make sure you utilize them. So we really want you to understand that it is the agent's company. All right? And he's 100% committed to making sure that if you commit to this and you're pushing hard, that you are very, very, very profitable in this industry. And that's one thing a lot of people don't understand. Like, how many of y'all were in this industry before you came to us? Raise your hands so just so I can see. So, a few of y'all. So what most people don't know is most companies don't do a couple things. One, most companies, I don't care how much they tell you, they don't have a good lead source. So most companies don't have a good lead source, so they've invested heavily into good leads. You get vested day one with renewals. Does anybody not know what that means? So, I'm glad you're saying no back there.
No, I do know what that means, yeah.
That's just a no.
Oh, well, I
I
had a kick in my
I
neck,
appreciate you saying
but
no.
I do know what it means.
Set me up.
Yeah, that's okay.
Vested renewals. So every year the policy stays in force. The company pays out a renewal on
Right.
that policy. There's a small percentage that the agent typically gets. Most companies in the industry do not give out renewals anymore. We vest them day one, which means you get that renewal for life of the policy, and it's whatever the vesting schedule of the company is what you get. Does that make sense to y'all? And as much as this doesn't sound like it's a positive, understand that if you went and talked to someone like Rick Missouri last year, who his first year commissions, and then when he put his extra 70 grand in renewal business on it, he made an additional 70,000 bucks last year off of renewals. Does that make sense? So renewals are big business. There's a lot of money in renewals. Like for instance, anybody way back in the day who used to sell insurance? Anybody know anybody like that? Like a grandfather sold insurance or something like that? Insurance used to be like, there used to be a joke that all the insurance guys were on the golf course playing golf, right? Like during the business days, that was the thing. The reason why is because that's where their money came from, was all the renewals. Because after you do this several years, you start generating a pretty hefty sum of renewals. Does that make sense? Did you know, here's some fun facts. Did you know when you build an agency, So you build an agency, that you get renewals on your agency business as well.
Oh, wow.
So like every time someone sells a policy in my agency, they get a renewal, but I also get a renewal also on that. So not only do they get renewals, did you know that, Kimberly?
I did not know that.
Just learn something new every day. Right, so you get, Max, did you know that?
Yes, I did.
No, Max. Smile, big back there, like, yes, I did. So understand, you can generate renewals from the agency side as well. Does that make sense, y'all? Huh?
Is that only one D?
It's your overall volume.
Okay.
I get policy, I get
Okay.
from, yeah, it's
Okay.
just, I get them from all kinds of people. It's like every day, and it's not as much as the agent, but like, it might be like, every day I might get like $800 worth of renewals now.
Oh,
You know, I mean, so it's getting paid. It's not like it's like, oh, it sucks, I mean, I'll take it every day.
If the agent leaves,
Yeah,
then you still get the agents.
they're vested, it's their renewals, that's theirs. We're not playing around with people's money. You are playing around with people's money, that's bad juju.
Bad
Mojo, or whatever you call it, karma, like whatever you wanna call it, that's bad. You don't mess around with people, you're vested. The word vested means that's yours and you get to keep it for life. Does that make sense?
But
I still get my,
agency renewal.
yeah, the agency still gets their renewal too. Yeah, absolutely. So, yep, so vested renewals day one. Does that, everybody make sense? And then the bonus structure would be the other thing that the company's really invested heavily in. So, anybody got any questions about any of this stuff so far? How about questions like you guys are here for the first time? Anybody here for the first time have any questions about something I didn't hit on?
I have a quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know if this is really timely, but at what point does this growth produce like diminishing returns? You know what I'm saying? So like you're planning to grow it really big, but
Yeah.
you know, eventually the market will be pretty saturated, it seems like, and
It's not, I mean, it's not as saturated as you would think.
because people drop off and new people come on and
Yeah.
people retire.
Yeah, and understand, $8 million a month is easy, so there was a company, not even kidding, so there's a company that Barry, one of the companies Barry originally started with, that he actually owned stock in, was doing $1 billion in premium, or in face value a day. We're not close to that. So if they were doing that daily, we can certainly handle what we're doing. Does that make sense? And again, there's like leads wise, they're always adapting, trying to add more sources of leads, trying to add a different style of leads, trying to better it. Like there's a new lead that's testing right now that some of our guys have already started running that's off the charts, and no one in this room knows about it. But they're having great success on it. Don't ask for it.
What is it?
I can't tell you yet, but we're always testing stuff to try to better ourselves and better the style lead. Does that make sense? So you'll get them when they should be dropping pretty quick here, but they're doing really well. I'll just tell you that.
Will it be doubled in the A-League, cost
The
wise?
price is
Sure.
not gonna change.
Oh.
Yeah,
Just
not
curious.
Yeah, but we're having great responses on it.
I just wanted to add to your question, if you look at some of the statistics of people that own life insurance, it's very small, and I don't know what they are, but
130 million people don't have life insurance
Like
today.
43%, right?
I didn't know that.
And so, as more people go out,
Yeah.
Plenty of
and
market.
they know, they get to know people and they're meeting people, then that market grows. So, I mean, there's a lot of, especially in Texas, there's so much opportunity here.
I mean, I feel
Yes.
like,
Yeah, go ahead.
Does Equus advertise on TV?
Nope, not at all.
I'm starting to see insurance commercials. I've never seen them before.
You're just noticing them now. They've been all over the place.
Years.
We love those commercials, by the way. We
Well, it
do.
helps us.
It's amazing. We love going into people's houses and they have something, I got this mailer in the mail. Thank you. We appreciate you. We read it. Thank you. Yes.
You're going to talk about the other products that we sell?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
So, yeah. Well, let's one more thing real quick before I get too far. Is just, and I tell people this, so for you, those of you who are looking at this industry and you just started getting in, one of the things, so I'm a retail guy. Any of y'all retailers? Retail people come from a retail background? No, it's just me. I'm the only lonely chump in here. Thank y'all for coming. I'm a retailer guy, so I came from retail. I was doing retail for 14 years. I ran regions for a company. The one reason I got out of retail was for the same reason that most of the companies are having the same problem. Some of you have had the same problem with your industry. Is that I like to call it, and it's going to kind of not make sense, but will in a second. Any company that's in a renewal style business, not the renewals with insurance, renewal, meaning people are always searching for a better deal on it. So your retail is one of those deals, like car insurance, right? Car insurance, homeowners insurance, health insurance, anything like that. And there's some others like pharmaceutical sales. There's other insurance or other industries that are seeing this, are in the same type of program. My brother is a big manager for AT&T, same thing, AT&T cell phones, people are always looking for the better deal. Any of those, you're starting to see massive commission drops out of nowhere, right? Anybody experience that in their industry? No? Are homes doing that? No commission drops? You don't do that, okay. Yeah, so the one nice thing about this industry, for those of you who are kind of just experiencing it for the first time, or men back there, is that this is the one industry that every year they need new clientele. So Mutual of Omaha, $8 billion a year company, they need new clients every single year, because the one thing that doesn't happen is policies don't get cheaper, because you get older and you get more unhealthy as you get older, right? So they're constantly looking for a new clientele base every single year. They rely on us. And I can tell you this, I've talked to VPs for insurance companies. As a matter of fact, I was in Forrester's at the Forrester's home office in Toronto not too long ago. They'll tell you this right now. If they could figure out a way to eliminate us, they would. But they've spent tons of money trying to figure it out and cannot do it. Because they need the face-to-face interaction. Because still, the reports from LIMRA have still come out that majority of all people still want to buy insurance, life insurance, face-to-face. So just understand, we're in a good position. Does that make sense? So it's a good industry, right? So, all right. Any questions about anything like that? No? Good? You asked, sir, what's your name, sir? With the red shirt? Yes, you.
Luis Raúl Encarnación Santiago Martínez.
Can you shorten it down for me?
Louis.
Luis, okay.
Louis. All right, Louis.
Luis.
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 Sí.
Louis.
That's correct.
Louis. So our main emphasis is mortgage protection insurance. That's our main marketing strategy, okay? We do have universal life products that we do. We do some annuities. We can do traditional life insurance. But one of the things that gets in a lot of people's way is sometimes being overeducated on what we do causes them to go backwards on making sales. So the main emphasis we do is mortgage protection insurance. Does that make sense?
Not really.
Okay. So, that's a little bit better understanding. That threw me for a loop on that one. You can sell anything we have.
Right.
But
Because
we,
final expenses these days are much better than.
final expense, it's all debatable, right? Yeah.
I love it.
It's whatever's your pleasure.
Get a kill and then send it.
Yeah, whatever. But our main emphasis at the company is going to be mortgage protection. That's going to be our main emphasis, our main targeted product. And so we'll talk about that a little bit. But let's talk about sales real quick. How many of you guys are actually just starting to sell for or have maybe you're licensed? How many of you are licensed first of all? How many of you are licensed? Raise your hand. Okay. How many of y'all have actually started booking appointments and selling? And how many of you have sold in the last 30 days? Cool. Come on up here for a second. Line up for me. Come on.
Oh my goodness. Good kid. He's gonna play a game.
I'm not going to push you. Come on up. Line up for me. You know how to perform a line, right? Line up.
No, it's not. It's one of those challenging
No. Line up. Scoot down that way. Keep scooting. All right. So let's just do me a favor real fast. Introduce yourself. Where do you live?
David, I live in Houston.
Keep going. Yeah,
Jane, Houston.
Debbie, I'm Halifax, and I live in Austin.
Selena Sosa, and I live in Austin.
Melissa Love in Waco, Texas. Pamela Trevino, San Antonio.
Freddys in Austin.
All right. So how many of y'all are new within the last 30 days? 30 days. So you're new with us for the last 30 days. New the last 30 days. Jump over here real fast because you guys will stay next to each other. All right. Do me a favor. So you made sales last month?
Yeah.
How much do you sell?
Last month I made one sale. Last month I started at the very beginning of last month. So
Okay.
I made one sale. In the
Congratulations.
past 2 weeks I've made 2 sales.
Okay. So the last
Past
2 sales. Okay. So gotcha. So have you been paid on any of them?
Yeah.
All right. Which ones? How many?
Let's see. One got declined.
Okay.
So that sucks.
All right.
I just got paid 2 days ago on a sale, $560.
Was it super hard work? How many hours did it take you to make that sale?
It probably took me about less than an hour. I'd say like 35 minutes.
So you made $500 in 35 minutes?
Yeah.
Not a bad payoff. right?
Yeah,
Well, how old are you?
24.
And what did you do prior to this?
Sales.
Sales. What kind of sales?
Man, I've sold everything. I've sold electricity, I've sold direct, I used to stand in Walmart, sell direct TV. I've sold credit card machines, I've sold everything.
Just a hustler. Solid. I like that. That's what it is. All right, thank you. Go ahead. How much did you sell last month?
Actually, just got my first sale last week.
Oh, congratulations. Give her a round of applause.
Licensed a few weeks ago, started closing out the commercial real estate accounts, and then moving to selling policies. It's been the first one.
Congratulations. How much was it?
About 3,200.
3,200. Has it issued yet?
Not yet. Should be issued today.
Today.
Got two
Congratulations.
policies.
And who'd you run with?
With National Life.
National Life. Was it pretty easy?
Yeah, it was actually.
Nice. Did Pete Lee help you?
No, actually, Rebecca Cross.
Oh, Rebecca.
She even got on the phone with me. It was my first policy. I had no idea what I was doing. We talked about it on the way up there, and we talked there while I was there.
That's the best ones right there. Congratulations. Give her a round of applause again. You sell last month?
Yes, sir.
How much did you sell?
About
1,200?
1,200.
Okay.
Well, no, that's what we
More than that
made.
annual
No,
premium.
we
That's
sold,
not annual premium.
Yes,
But I just
So
started.
we had him up here with you?
I just started full-time because I was doing
That's
another full-time job, so
But you
I've
many
been
sell?
doing it on the weekends, yes.
How many
several
sales did you
sales.
make?
Oh, probably last month about 4 or 5.
4 or 5. And how much did you deposit?
Probably,
gosh,
what was?
close to $2,000, I
That's
guess.
nice, because you just gonna be like,
Close to $2,000.
So you made $2,000 on 4 or 5 sales, right? Were you pretty happy with that?
Very happy.
Ooh, congratulations. And what, hold on, easy. What was your business? What do you transition now?
Insurance.
Your transition, insurance?
Agent, yes.
Insurance. What kind of insurance were you selling?
Life insurance.
How does it compare to what you were doing?
This is so much better.
So much better. Is it? We'll get it.
Yeah.
All right, now give her a round of applause.
There you go.
Allie, how much did you sell last month?
Issue paid, I think, was 22,000.
22,000. Give her a round of applause. She's part of my team. I like that. So what was your best deposit week? How about that? Last month. Just kind of guess. What was it?
Like 5,000.
$5,000? Not a bad gig, right, for a week? You know, then she's like, I don't know.
I was like,
You know, you guys, like, these are independent, wealthy people, man. So that's it. All right, well, and then you came from another insurance company as well. How's it compared? How you like it here so far?
I'm a lot happier.
All right, good. We're glad to have you. So give her a round of applause. Clearly enjoys talking in front of crowds, too.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. How much you sell? How much did you sell?
For the month of May
Yeah, that'll
or
work.
June,
Let's do May.
let's do May.
Yep.
12,000 I wrote.
12,000. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And then what was your best deposit day? How about that?
$2,200.
$2,200.
Of course.
Yeah. Give her a round of applause.
So I'm giving a little deposit here and
You're
there.
answering way too many questions.
Sorry. Wow, too much
We'll
information.
talk about it. We'll get you back up when we're talking about it.
No, this is my one-shot deal.
So what did you do prior?
I was with a different IMO
Okay.
before joining Equus
Gotcha.
in March.
All right.
How
How do you like it? How do you like it?
Love, love, love it.
All right, you know yourself. So, all right.
I was a psychologist before that. And I was a
I'm
realtor
in right
before
there,
that.
psychologist too, so and you guys all psychoanalyzing people.
It's a people business.
Hey, listen, so give us just one difference between what you did compared to here. Like, what's the differences between your old company and what we're doing? Give us a difference.
World of difference.
Training,
Training?
resources.
Yeah, resource and training. That was 2, but we'll take it.
No, they're the same thing.
Oh, okay, 2.
Is that
Huh? I'll explain it.
Independent marketing
Yeah, she
organization.
doesn't know what it is either, but that's all right. Give her a round of applause. You sell last month?
I did, I sold one policy.
One policy last month.
I had beginner's luck,
Was
the
that your
very
first one?
first policy that I sold with this company, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And how much was it for?
I think it was for, what was it, for 1,200 or something like
Right,
that?
are you looking at Freddys?
He's the one that helped me with it.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
yeah.
$1,200, congratulations, all right.
thank you.
And did you get paid on it?
Not yet,
Not yet.
yeah.
All right, so almost close to getting paid?
Yeah, we just have to have her sign something.
It was issued to-
Yeah.
It was issued
It's
with
issued,
amendment.
check it out. Yeah.
So you missed it. So what an amendment means
Yes,
is,
there
we'll
you go.
explain it. Amendment means that there was something missing from the app and they just need to fix it. So as soon as
Yeah.
it gets signed, you get paid.
Right.
That's it. That's why we want to make sure it's everything's done right away,
That's
right?
it.
Well, congratulations. Have you sold anything this month?
No, I have not.
What are you waiting for?
Well, a bunch of stuff is going on with me. I just went on vacation. I'm back now. I'm gonna get in the groove. I know, yeah.
Cushy life.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. What was your previous job?
I'm a nurse, retired nurse.
Well, thank you for doing that. We
Yeah.
appreciate it. We need good nurses,
Yeah,
so that's good. All right, and so how long were you a nurse for?
20 years.
20 years. Is this a lot less stress than that?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
I could
It's
not.
an awesome opportunity to put a little bit of effort in to get a big gain. You know, it really is. It's a good opportunity.
I can't do blood. I'd pass out. I pass out. I see blood.
Yeah.
I'd be bad.
You have to have a strong stomach, a steady hand, and a big heart to
Well,
be a
that's
nurse.
good. Yeah, you do. That's a good way to put it. Hey, well, congratulations. Give her a round of applause.
Thank you.
Y'all brand new. So, and I didn't know so many other people who were brand new as well. We'll just use you two right now. So, first, brand new.
Brand new.
How many weeks?
Well, maybe 3 or 4. I mean,
3.
I got licensed and I haven't, I've done 4 appointments.
Okay. You done 4 appointments? Gotcha. How'd they go?
So I closed 2 of them.
Did you good?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good averages.
Yeah, and, I was happy to hear, your lead speech because I'm at the point where I'm just kind of out of money and like out of time, so I gotta make it happen.
Yep.
And I just had to figure out how. This is what I did wrong. I bought all V leads. And I feel that I could have, knowing that I've been in sales all these years, I could have easily done some A leads.
So we're gonna talk about that a little bit. I'll tell you this, I'm a big fan of A-leads. The only reason why is because I think it's a better, quicker result that you're gonna get out of them.
I needed some quick wins, yeah.
I think though, if I show you some stuff that I'm gonna show you just a little bit, it might help you with B-leads as well. And so we'll talk about that. But so have you gotten paid on those 2 policies yet?
I'm waiting on one, but hopefully today or tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, I got paid on one.
Okay. How much did you get paid on?
Well, the first one was like $300 because, it was like 5 something, but then after the fees or whatever, not fees, but I get some at the end of the year.
I got it. Yep.
So I got 300 of it now, and then waiting on like 580.
Okay. Well, hey, congratulations on that. Give her a round of applause.
So I'm not new. I'm new with you guys.
That's all right. You're new.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
been for a year now.
You made a sale with us so far?
Yeah.
How many sales?
So today I started writing with you guys in May 9th.
Okay.
So it's been about a month.
Okay.
And I did 8,500 on annualized premium.
Cool. And have you got paid on it?
A couple of them, yeah.
Couple of them, yeah? Just
Well,
wait up.
more than a couple, 2,600.
That's 2,600. Well, first,
So far.
so how do you like it so far?
I love it.
Love it?
Yeah.
You just like his near Hallie, and Hallie's just smiling.
Right. Yeah, she's helped me a lot. So
Yeah,
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 helped me a
that's
lot.
it.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man. And different, any major differences between what you're doing here and what you were doing?
Yeah, the support, I talk to you a lot, call you a lot, every day, and Holly, and, you guys really solve problems, if I have, isn't that, when I was before, there's a lot of kumbaya, yeah, it was, sorry, yeah, keep pushing, but you actually solve problems.
Good. We're gonna try to solve more problems for
Yeah.
everybody. Okay, give these guys a round of applause.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, so let's get into it. Okay, we're gonna talk about culture. Actually, you know what? Let me introduce a couple people. Actually, can you come up here? Kimberly and Holly, you guys come up here real fast. Why don't y'all three come up here real quick? Introduce yourselves real fast.
I'm Max Day, I live in Houston.
Hey guys, I'm Holly Rogers from Dallas.
Kimberly Rambo, also from Dallas.
And then we'll get another superstar.
Bruce Bates from Canyon Lake.
All right. Bruce has a lot of people in the room, so we like that. All right. So Max is a qualified regional manager with the company. So just if you don't know what that is, that means that his team is doing over $50,000 a month. Man, this looks like $50,000 paid business a month. All right. Paid business a month. and get into conversations while they're booking their appointment. That's a no-no. And so we're gonna talk about phone scripts. So how many, who's dialing, who's having some struggles? Anybody have struggles dialing their booking appointments right now? Anybody? You better not be shy. You have problems? Come on up, come up. You have problems? Come up. I'll volunteer.
Okay, good.
What's your name?
Steve?
Yeah, Steve. I point to everybody like.
Well, I don't have problems making the call, I have problems people keeping the appointment.
Gotcha. Okay, well then you can listen, but if you don't have a problem making calls, so you have problems, okay, good. Anybody else having problems? No? You're the only brave soul.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. So I'm gonna do a couple phone scripts for you, and then I want you to repeat it. Yeah. But the one thing I want you to do is understand this, is that everything I do is just purely to set the appointment. Now, keeping the appointment, it might have something to do with your phone script as well. So just be aware. So make sure you make some notes on how that's what's going on. But we can talk about that as well and figure out what's going on. But there's a couple things you need to know, right? First thing is this: you're going to get an objection. I love when people say you're not going to get objections. You're always going to get objections on the phone. Always going to get objections. Do you know why we know that? Because whoever filled that card out is a buyer. And buyers are scared of what? Being sold. And so you have to understand you can get objections. I despise when people are like, I don't ever get objections. You're a liar. You get objections all the time. It's just your transition of how you go through your objections is very smooth, and you don't have problems with that. You're always going to get objections. You need to know that. Here's the cool part. Doesn't matter if you're a B lead, a B lead, or a C lead. This works for all of them, right? So this is the first thing I tell you. Before we get too far, here's the one thing I want to say, and this is what I want to say about your B leads when you were talking about. A lead is a lead in my books. Now, there is some that take quicker to book versus ones that take a little bit of time. But the one thing I'm going to tell y'all is that when you get a lead, that lead needs to be dialed the day you get it. Right? Do not buy leads if you're not willing to dial them that day. If you're on a standing order, and if you don't know what that is, you can put an order in for your county, and you can get leads as they're coming in. If you're on a standing order, that lead needs to be dialed when it gets in. If you cannot dial it when it gets in, do not put yourself in the position, because those leads are valuable. They have shelf lives. Here's the other thing, is if you dial them and you don't get answers within 24 to 48 hours from the first time you dial them, you do know what you need to do at that point, right? You need to knock on their door. You need to go to their house. And I love when people tell me,
See there, they want you to go to their house?
that they go,
Have you done that?
I don't want to knock on their door because they're 45
Don't
minutes
answer,
away
just drive
from me.
over.
Let me be clear about something. All right, so excuse me for a second. Every time we make a sale, we heard this, right? Every time we make a sale, we make $700 to $1,200 on average. That's the nationwide average, how much we make per sale, right? So if you drove 45 minutes and you made $700, is that okay?
Well, yeah.
Well, I got you. You know what everybody says? Well, it's 45 minutes. I don't know if they're going to buy. I got it. That's just a risk. I will tell you this, and I use Rick Azuri because he is the #1 producer in the company. Last year, he's on track to do it again this year. Rick tells me every time he makes 2 to 4 sales a week from door knocking a lead. 2 to 4 sales every week comes from door knocking a lead that's brand new that he can't get hold of. You need, yes.
Once you're door knocking and they answer the door.
Yes. What do you say?
Yeah.
I'll tell you. You want me to tell you what I say? You want me to tell you what Rick does? Rick walks. Can I steal this for a second?
Yeah, you can still leave if there's something there.
He walks up and goes, he says, "Is this you?"
Yeah, that's me.
And they say, "Yeah, that's you." He said, "I've been trying to get a hold of you." And he goes in and he starts taking his shoes off. And he walks in the door. Yeah. Is it you? What do you think people are going to say? No.
Get out. Where's he at? Where's he located?
Yeah.
Florida?
It's no different than Texas.
That is, who gets out down here?
Yeah, that is. There's a lot of.
You see what I'm saying? The whole point is he walks up and he just says, "Is this you?" And they go, "Yep." And he goes, "We've been trying to get a hold of you." Most people don't answer their phones to numbers they don't know. But you need to be, here's the deal, right? So there's B leads. Did you go and door knock all of them? See, the problem is you're relying on your phone script and you're brand new, so no offense, but your phone script's probably not great. You're relying on your phone script to make your money. And right now, you know what makes money is the smile. You walk up to somebody's door, like I love people going, well, what if somebody hangs up the phone on me? Go door knock it. They will not slam the door in your face when you go up and put a cheesy grin on your face. They won't do it. In behind the phone, they can act like they're 7 foot tall and weigh 500 pounds. But then you walk up and you smile at them and they're all like, oh, come on in. You see what I mean? So just go door knocking. Don't be too proud to go door knock people. That's what you should do with all those leads. So when you go, I should have tried this, no, you probably should just go door knock. Because you probably have a lot of money left over in those B leads. Does that make sense? And here's the deal. Now I don't know about all y'all, and everybody comes in a different financial spot, you know what I mean? I know when I first started, I need to make money really bad. And so if you need to make money really bad, do whatever you need to do to make money. And I'm gonna tell you what, sitting at home, staring at leads and making occasional calls does not make you money. Going out and pounding on the door, opening it up, seeing who's there, that's what makes you money. Get in front of people. Does that make sense?
Maybe I should do that. Doing that question. Wow.
Getting all these A leads.
It's a good question.
And how does he have time to do it?
He gets about 15 A leads a week, is what his goal is to get every single week. I will tell you this. So could we agree that he's probably the hardest working sales guy in the company? Would you agree? Right? He made almost $300,000 last year, right? You agree? Everybody agree on that? He works about 25 hours a week. Which is probably double what everybody in this room does.
Tell us how he does that.
He just works 25 hours a week. Like, okay, so if you dial, and this is not to pick on you, it is, but it's not. It's a pick on everybody. But if you dial, how many hours do you think you dial? No,
Keep in
listen.
mind, I'm just doing this part.
I got you, but I want to use you too. How many hours do you think you dial?
6.
Oh, I dial probably 4 hours.
Straight?
Straight.
Don't hang it, don't walk out, don't take drinks, don't use the bathroom. 4 hours.
Yeah.
Cool, I like it. How many appointments you run?
Run or
Run.
set?
How many appointments you run in a week, typically?
Well, I just started doing this, so,
I got you. I
I
want to,
said about 4.
4. How many hours do you think with driving time that takes you?
Well, I know that Canyon Lake too.
Okay, I got you, that's fine, give me all the time.
It's,
Texas, you drive far.
it's an hour to an hour and a half for each.
Okay, so you run, let's just say you 6, so 10 hours, fair? Okay, what else is there? We missing? You say, is that hour and a half of driving
That's driving.
between appointments?
No, from Canyon to San Antonio.
Oh, no, I'm giving you 10 hours in total run time with driving and running to San Antonio. Would you say that's about accurate?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're at 14 hours. What else? What other time is there?
That's it? Okay.
But watch this. You want to have some fun? Who's full time? Who's actually running full time? Full time. You ran like 2
Am I doing
months. You run full time?
No.
How many hours? How many hours you got?
Yeah, nothing.
What's your name?
Exactly.
Melissa,
Melissa, how many hours you got?
2 to 3.
So let's give you 3. How many appointments you book in an average a week?
14.
14 appointments a week? Good job, that's great.
That is really good.
How many, give me a per hour, like how many hours it takes you within driving and getting to an appointment, like total, every time you run an appointment? I'm being super liberal with this, by the way. But let's, like, hour and a half, 2 hours per appointment? So we would say.
2 hours.
So we say 28 hours in that, plus the 3 for the dialing is 31 hours, right? So she's probably working more than most are. You see what I'm saying? And I'm sure that's probably being super liberal too. Like if we were like, it's probably not.
It depends on what county I
Of
work.
course.
Well,
But I'm just
I
trying
work 5 different counties.
I'm trying to make a point. My
Yeah,
point
yeah.
is that Rick works 25 to 30 hours a week, and when he's working 25 to 30 hours a week, he's working 25 to 30 hours a week. He's not like, goofing around, like, so when
Thinking
you're
about
going,
it.
so what does he do? So when he goes out to a house, so say he goes to, I don't know, anywhere around Texas, but let's just say he's in Austin, right? And he goes to, what's a big street around here? Give me a big street, Alan.
183.
Congress is a big street. So say he has a house on Congress, which probably doesn't have houses on it. But say he has a house on Congress, I believe he hasn't been able to get a hold of, and he's driving down Congress, he stops right there, and he'll knock on the door, And if he can't go in right now, they say, yeah, I'm available, say, hey, great, I got another appointment, I'll be right back right afterwards. He's just very efficient with his time. He doesn't waste any time, he just knocks, boom, done. And then when he always keeps all his leads with him, and when he's out there, do you ever get no-show, right? Cancellation, no-show, you ever done that before? Because I'm sure you have. Everybody does, right? He never has a problem with that, because why he's doing that, if he has all his leads with him all the time, and he goes out and door knocks while he's in the middle of getting a cancellation or no-show. He's very efficient with his time. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I know it sounds like he must work a ton, but the average salesperson works less than 25 hours with our company. Like, you are an anomaly if you're working over 25 hours, which is great. It's just it's almost one of the biggest downfalls for what we do, is people don't invest the proper amount of time because they go out and they're like, $3 grand in like 4 hours. This is crazy, right? Because in real estate, it takes you a lot longer than that, doesn't it? It could take you months to just make that from a sale, right? You see what I'm saying? So it's just, you gotta be super efficient with your time. You gotta understand it's a business. I mean, you gotta treat it like a proper business. And you also gotta treat it like it's your business. That's where most people get into problems. They don't treat it like it's their business. Does that make sense? Yeah. Does that clarify for you? We were just talking amongst each other. I just utilized you as the 14 hours for it, because I want to see what that is. But let's talk about phone script. Because we know we need to dial leads, right? Or dial, but if we don't get a hold of them, what do? Within 24 to 48 hours? Knock on doors. All right. So I'm going to do a phone script. I'm going to do my phone script on you. I've used this phone script for 9 years. So this phone script does not change, well, kind of wording a little bit, but nothing crazy. It's going to take the same format, all right? Sure. Give me one more time. David. I'll get it, David. After about 50 times that, right? I think we're at 7. We're 7. So we only got 43 more times to go. All right, David. All right, so we're going to do this. So this is my phone script. Just want you to just go through a normal phone script, and then we'll do objections. All right? So if I'm a ring, I'm going to say, hey, ring. Hello, hi, nice to speak with David.
Yeah, that's me. Can I ask who's calling?
Hey, David. My name's Jared. I'm calling about your mortgage with Bank of America. We had received information you sent in regards to the mortgage protection, and I am the manager who handles it for your area. They actually got me scheduled on your area tomorrow. I'm just trying to see what's a good time to catch up with you. Are you typically available during the day or in the evening times?
I'm sorry, what was this about?
All right, David. Let me repeat what we just said.
No, we're doing objections later. Got it.
We're going to do objections.
Start over.
But he was going. But you see how when you asked who this was, I plowed through it? Yeah. He said, that was it. All right, so let's start over again. Can we just do a normal one this time? All right, we're good. All right, we're good.
See, I have this phone call, that's the same one I have written down.
Hi, David. My name's Jerry.
Just wanna
I'm
make
calling
sure.
about your mortgage with Bank of America. Calling in reference to the information you sent in regarding the mortgage protection. I'm actually the manager who handles it for your area, and they actually have me scheduled out in the area tomorrow. I'm just trying to see what's a good time to catch up with you. Are you typically available during the day or in the evening time?
I work full time.
Okay. What time do you typically get off work?
I get off at 5, so probably the evening would be best.
Okay. I don't have anything near 5, but I can do a 6:30. That'd be okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And then, David, I have you at 123 Main Street. Is that the correct address?
That's me.
Perfect. When I pull up, again, my name is Jared. I'll be driving a black truck, so you know who it is. And I got you down for 6:30, correct? Yep. Okay, see you then. Cool. All right.
You don't ask any,
Never,
really?
ever. I think that's the worst thing you can ever possibly do is ask tough questions. And I know it's a contradiction to some of the stuff you've been taught. The reason why I don't ask them is because, now, let me tell you this. If you're a seasoned pro at this and you're booking a ton, you ask whatever the heck you want to ask. But if you're having struggles, which 99% of this room is right now, and we need to get 99% writing, you need to do it the way I do it. And it works. Right, Hallie? You got to say yes verbally. Yes. Okay. Freddie, does it work?
Yes.
All right. So we want you to, it's a non-abrasive way to get into the house. If you start asking medical questions, so if I say, hey, do you have anything like cancer, heart attack, stroke, diabetes, you're giving them the opportunity to bail out because they're scared you can't cover it. Let me ask you a question. They have a heart attack, diabetes, cancer, stroke, can you cover them?
Yeah.
Yes. The
It's more
answer
money.
is yes. And so do we care if they have those? No. Now here's, when I get to the in-home part, here's what I'll tell you. I will tell you why we do it this way and why it doesn't matter for us. Does that make sense? And we'll help you answer that question. But that is how I do my phone script. Do y'all need to hear it again?
Yeah.
Give it one more time.
Keep it simple.
All the time.
We actually had a question about that, could help the guys that are just starting out, that helps to know the information in advance, so we can kind of get prepared.
What?
If we can get on that process, well, you already asked for on the lead sheets and the class A lead. If we have on that questionnaire what the date of birth is and what the height and weight is.
Don't care.
that'd be-
I don't care. Here's the thing, and Max, this might be contradicting stuff you guys do, but you understand, I would say the same thing that Barry Clarkson is standing next to me right now. I don't care what anybody else does. Until they beat my team in sales, listen to what I'm telling you. When they start whipping our tail, you can listen to everything they tell you.
I don't know about when they call it, what form they get.
I know, I'm telling you right now, the reason why I don't do that is because we want you, because here's the deal. It's like everything's a monumental task for someone when they're brand new, right? Like you guys have had to go through a lot. You've got to have to go through contracting, get your license, you've had to go through AML training, you have to learn phone scripts, you have to learn applications, underwriting, everything, right? It's just task after task. I want to eliminate all that stress because the only thing that works that we know is that you need to go out and make a sale and make money. And so we need you to do it quickly because the quicker you make money, the more you're enthusiastic and excited about our business, and the longer you stick around with us. But the people who don't make money don't stick around very long. Does that make sense? So the reason why I don't want to pre-plan everything out is because I don't care what's wrong with them, and I'm going to teach that in my in-home as well. Why? I'm going to teach you how to overcome that road. Does that make sense? So it's a good question. I get it a lot all over the country, and so it's the one thing I'm really concerned about is we have. What do we have? Literally 3 producers who are writing over more than 2 policies a month in here. I mean, we want more than that. Texas should be a record shop. That's what I was talking to the ladies about earlier. I was like, this state should be killing it right now. But I think it's because we try to overcomplicate stuff sometimes. Does that make sense? We'll talk about more. So let's do the in-home, or let's do phone script one more time. So ring ring. Hello. Hi, my speaker David. That's me. Hi David. My name's Jared. I'm calling about your mortgage from Bank of America. I'm calling in reference to the form that you had sent in regards to the mortgage protection. I'm actually the manager who handles it for your area, and they have me scheduled out in your area tomorrow. Just trying to figure out what's a good time to catch up with you. Are you typically available during the day or the evening times? Evening. The evening time. What time do you get off? Is it work?
Yeah, I get off at 5.
Okay. I don't have anything near 5 available, but I do have a 6:30. Will that work for you?
You know, I have a kid's birthday party.
No objections.
Does later work
Just
for you?
say yes.
Yes.
David, I have you at 123 Main Street. Is that the correct address?
Yep.
Perfect. And again, my name's Jared. I got you down for 6:30 tomorrow evening, and when I pull up, I'll be in the white paper. Is that okay?
Yep.
All right, perfect. All right. Mr. Objection. I'm gonna hit these objections. Yes, sir.
Well, what about spouse? You didn't ask that.
I don't care.
You don't care?
No, I mean, it's, to me, I'll tell you this, there's some people who be like, I asked if spouse. If you're really dead set on asking a spouse, like you, sir, you said, what's your name again? Behind you, sorry.
Steve?
Steve, you said you have people that are canceling on you a lot. I don't have that problem. So I get the random ones, but I don't, by how I do my script, I don't get a lot of no-shows or cancellations. And so you're welcome, sir, this sir in front, what's your name?
Rick.
Rick, you're welcome to say, hey, when are you y'all? Is that's your word in Texas? When y'all?
Y'all.
Or you and your wife.
You and your wife? When are you and your wife typically available? That's fine. If you want to put that instead of when are you typically available, and so it's up to you.
Do you not have a problem with one legs and,
I don't.
and excuses?
No,
Backing out?
no.
Have to wait, have to talk?
And if you do, if you run into the random appointments where, so you walk in and say, what is your name again? Sam. Nice to officially meet you. If I walked in and you married, yep. What's your wife's name?
Stephanie.
If I walked in and Sam was there and Stephanie wasn't, right, I'd say, hey, and then I'd say, oh, looks like you're married, is your wife with you here? Is she here as well? And you go, no, she's not here. I say, listen, this is super important for both of you guys. I'll tell you what, that was my fault for not scheduling with both of you. What's a good time to usually catch up with both of you guys? Tomorrow, great. All right, we'll see you then. Let's do that then. Sound good? Perfect. That's it. I may sit there and go back and forth for a few minutes just chatting with them.
Yeah.
But I won't discuss business, period.
Okay.
So I just
So do you find that if you open that subject up, is your wife going to be there? Both of you can be home? Is that,
yeah, I mean,
does it stir the pot?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
We have some of our guys that do it that way. Like Antonio Fisher does it that way. He says, are you and your wife both available? He lives in Indiana. You know, he does it that way. So it's either way, whatever you want to do. So I just never have, and I've never ran into a problem. And again, I think regardless, you're going to get your one-leggers here and there, but I don't typically run into it, because I think most people, when you set it up and put an emphasis on it, they think it's important anyway, because you're talking about your mortgage. So let's talk about that real fast. So there's a couple things I do that I really, Mr. Psychology over here, see, remember we were talking about that? We were talking, yeah, this thing is So we talked about a couple things. The first thing is and this goes against a lot of people what they teach, but the first thing is this. I say Matt speak with, by the way. Did any of y'all notice that? Any of y'all ever been taught to be like, just go straight for their name? Hey, Bob. All right. I say Matt speak with. The reason why I say that is because I really want to sound official. And the first thing I say, Matt speak with, then I say, hi, and then I put my name, I say, this is Jared, calling about your mortgage.
Let me take a picture.
So I always put the mortgage right at first. So I'm calling about your mortgage with Bank of America. I think that's important. The reason why I think it's important, because it's important to them, and I think you should instantly go for what they're gonna recognize. This is calling about your mortgage with Bank of America. Then, at that point, I call, depending on the style lead, if it's direct mail, hey, we're calling about the form you sent in regards to mortgage protection. If it's a call-in lead, I say we're calling about the information requested in regards to mortgage protection. So I just changed it up, calling about the form, calling about the information requested about mortgage protection. Then I say, and by the way, did any of y'all notice how kind of fast I was going through it? That's the speed I go through whenever I dial. I don't want to give them gaps to talk at all, 0. Like, did you notice, even when at first, when me and David tried to throw objections at me when I told him not to the first time, I plowed right over when he said, who's this calling? I didn't even care. You know, I just boom, moved straight on. I don't want to give any gaps for room to talk at all. I'm going to control the situation and I'm going to talk until I give them the option to talk. Does that make sense to y'all? So calling about mortgage, Bank of America, calling in reference to the form in regards to mortgage protection. The manager handles the free area. They got me scheduled out in the area the next day or the next 2 days. What's typically a good time to catch up with you during the day or the evening time? I'm not a big fan. Like, how many of y'all go, I got a 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock available? Any of y'all do that? Yeah, okay, sorry. No, you don't do that. I run into places where they go, I got a 6 or 8 available. I'm not a big fan of giving out times. That's your choice if you want to. I just think if you give out a time and they're not available either, you just lost the opportunity to book the appointment. So I always say, call about, I'm trying to set up a time to catch up with you, or you typically available during the day or in the evening time. And then give them the opportunity right then to make the first comment. That's usually where you're going to give your objections at that point. But if they don't give an objection, they're going to tell you, I'm not available during the day, I'm available in the evening time. Does that make sense? Any questions yet on that?
Can you say that one more time so I can write it down?
Sure.
Slow down.
I'll make you a deal.
I used to be a blonde.
If you send me an email, I'll send you an audio recording of it. Is that better? Awesome. We got that already. We already have it. That's what our old back team is. Or Holly can just send you whatever she recorded just a few minutes ago. So, but or somebody else can. So right at the objection point, okay? So right at the point where they're going to give you objection, what's a good time to catch up with you during the day or evening time? Your first objection point right there. 4 objections. Now understand, I'm going to write these up here, but there's going to be somebody that throws some off-the-wall objection at me. I got you. There's anomalies. There's always weird objections here and there, but the 4 common ones are 1 of 4. Not interested. Already taken care of. Or got it. Got it. Busy. How many of y'all heard busy before?
Oh my God.
You're like, busy. You just answered the dang phone. Apparently not that busy. Or, last but not least, my favorite. Can you tell me something?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let me tell you how to handle all these. The first thing you need to do is you need to not get into a fight with the person on the other end of the phone. That's what everybody tries to do. They try to fight. Stop trying to fight. If they say, already got taken care of, you know what the gut reaction for people is?
Okay.
Either okay and they bow down and fold, or they say, what did you get? That you are trying to sell at that point. Your job is not to sell during a phone call, because they are in control and they can hang up the phone. So do not try. If you need me to read them off to you, you got them? Okay. So you do not want to get into trying to sell. So if somebody says, hey, I already got it taken care of, your first response needs to be, absolutely, no big deal. My job is just to get the information over to you. What's a good time to catch up with you during the day or the evening time? So instead of folding, you say, absolutely, no big deal. My job is just to get the information requested from us over to you. What's a good time to get it over to you? During the day or in the evening time? The reason why you say absolutely no big deal is because you are now diffusing a situation where they automatically expect you to fight them, right? It's like, picture yourself getting in a fist fight, right? And someone's going to you push, they push back, you push, they push back. You understand what I'm saying? But instead, when someone went to push, you just grab their arm and pulled them with you. They look awfully funny, right? They push and you grab their arm and pull them down. Does that make sense? So it's kind of like that. You're getting into a fist fight or a pushing battle, but instead of you pushing back, because they just pushed at you, you pulled them with you. Does that make sense? So now you go, hey, absolutely no big deal. My job is just to get the information you requested over to you. What's a good time to catch up with you during the day or evening time? Now, inevitably, Bob, I get a question all the time. What if they didn't tell you they're not interested again, or they already got it taken care of again? My response will be this: absolutely, no big deal. Again, my job is just to get the information you requested over to you. And then what if they say, hey, no, seriously, I'm really not interested in it? I understand. Absolutely, no big deal. My job is just to get the information you requested over to you. And you go, how many times would you say that? How many times will they take it before they hang up on you? If they do that 10 times, I'm going to say that 10 times to them. And you go, seriously? Yeah, do you know that, like, and this is a sales statistic, do you know that, no, it's actually, do you know it takes 5 times of asking for a post technically to get someone to buy? 5 times. So if I have to go through that 5 times, eventually they're going to fold. Does that make sense? That's why they tell you while you're in your sales to start embedding closing techniques into your sales, right? Like trial closes, you've ever heard of that, right? Everybody's heard of trial closing? Like, hey, if you're in the close, like, we want to make sure this is the best option for you and your family today. That's a trial close. That's asking them to buy at that point. Does that make sense to y'all? So you want to do trial close. So if you have to say, absolutely no big deal, my job is just to get the information over to you. How many of y'all have ever tried doing that multiple times and it worked? Have you tried that, Howie? And did it work? Did any? Then it looks, hey, listen, it's not going to be every time, right? But if you got, so say you get 10 people to do it, if you get 4 of them to actually bite, then you just got 4 more points than you would have done if you would have been like, okay, click. You see what I mean? Your job is to get appointments. Does that make sense? All right. Are you ready, Mr. Discussion? All right. So I'm going to go through it. I'll call you. Okay. Oh, you're calling. And then you're going to try on me. Yeah. Okay. Are you good? Yeah. All right. So ring. Hello. Hi, may I speak to David? Yeah, that's me. Hey, David. My name is Jared. I'm calling about your mortgage with Bank of America. I'm calling in reference to the mortgage protection form we received. I'm actually the manager who handles the free area, and they have me scheduled out in your area tomorrow. Just trying to figure out what's a good time to catch up with you. Are you typically available during the day or the evening time?
Yeah, we already bought it.
Hey, absolutely no big deal. My job is just to get the information you requested from us over to you. What's typically a good time to catch up with you, during the day or the evening time?
Man, I'm just not interested.
Oh, hey, absolutely. I completely understand that. My job is just to get the information you requested requested from us over to you. What's a good time to catch up with you, during the day or the evening time?
I'm really busy right now.
Oh, man.
To a house.
Absolutely. I really do understand that. Again, no big deal. My job is just to get the information that you requested from us. What's a good time to catch up with you, during the day or the evening time?
Well, I tell you what, why don't you just mail it?
Hey, I wish I could. We mailed you everything we could, but I completely understand that. My job is just to get the information you requested over from us to you. What's a good time to catch up with you, during the day or the evening time? Evening. Does that make sense? Like, I'm just like, yeah, I mean, I don't care. I'm just going to tell them the same thing over and over. You go, really? Just the same thing? Yeah. Now, most of the time, you're not going to get all 4 of them all at the same time. But you did a good job of doing all.
Sometimes you'll get them all in one sentence.
Yeah, no. I'm not interested already.
I'm busy right now, and I already got it, so why don't you just mail me something?
Absolutely. Does anybody have questions about how I handled that?
So then, once you get there,
Yeah, go ahead.
what, you just go with your regular
I'm not going into the in-home yet, but I'll tell you this. When I get there, I don't care what they say, I run that world at that point. I'm not kidding you. I control that whole atmosphere. I control every aspect of it. So when I get there, it's on me. I don't care if they go, what do you got? I love that one. That's my favorite. What do you got? I'm like, whatever. And then I just start doing whatever I want. Does that make sense? What was that?
No.
So, what did you say? I'm sorry? Did you have a question? Oh, okay, sorry. I thought you meant to have a question. Does that make sense? So that's it. So any questions about phone script at all? No? You think you got it?
Yeah.
Come on, Bryce? Yeah. All right, you sure?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, is this Jared? Okay. You want me to do exactly?
I want you to like, are you setting a lot of appointments? Say it again. Are you setting a lot of appointments?
Well, I mean, to be fair, I'm calling 50-cent mail code leads.
That's okay. Okay.
I mean, 1 out of 8.
That wasn't the question I asked you. I said, are you selling
I
one?
mean, I ran 6 last week.
Oh, that's
I
good.
ran 8 the week before that.
So we need to work on it. Yeah, do mine.
Yeah.
Do mine in a week.
Okay.
Do mine.
Alright.
Yep, go ahead.
So ring.
Hello?
Hey, man.
Did you get the
Jared.
amendment?
Yes.
Hey, Jared. I'm calling about your mortgage with Bank of
The
America.
amendment,
Okay,
the
my
12.
name is
Oh my
David.
God.
And I'm with the mortgage
So does it have
protection
to be,
department. You
the
recently
original
responded
with
to
what
a solicitation
signature?
in the mail.
Let's respond.
Or can
Someone
you
stop
like
talking
email
about
it to me and I
Throw
can
him
print
off.
it
He's
and then I
trying to
can
talk
just
in
sign
front
it?
of the group.
Hold on, guys.
Yeah, hang tight, because he's talking in front of the group, and this makes it difficult anyway. So, hi, my name's Jared, so I go, I'm asking you, David, my name's Jared, calling about your mortgage with Bank of America, calling in reference to the mortgage protection form we received in. I'm the manager who handles it for your area. They actually have me scheduled on the area. Now, do you know why I say they, by the way? I should have explained that. They is shifting blame to why you have to go out to your house. So they have me scheduled on the area tomorrow. You got it from there?
Yeah.
All right, practice again.
May I please speak with Jared?
Yeah, this is Jared.
Hey, Jared. I'm calling in reference to your mortgage with Bank of
What's your
America. I'm calling about your mortgage with Bank of America.
What's your name? Like I said.
My name is David. Okay.
Okay, I got it.
My name is
So
David.
start
I'm
over,
calling about your mortgage.
start with ring.
Okay, ring.
Hello?
Hey, may I please speak with Jared?
Yes.
Hey, Jared. I'm calling about your. My name is David. I'm calling about your mortgage with Bank of America.
Start over.
Hey, ring.
Hello?
Hey, may I please speak with Jared?
Yes.
Hey, Jared. My name is David. I'm calling about your mortgage with Bank of America. I'm calling in reference to the form we sent you about mortgage protection.
Okay, so I'm stopping you. So I don't say that we're calling about the form we sent you, because then we're shifting it to being our fault. I say I'm calling about the form we received in regards to the mortgage protection.
Calling about the form.
Information we received in regards to the mortgage protection.
I'm calling about the information we received in regards to mortgage protection.
All right, start.
Ring.
Hello?
Hey, may I please speak with Jared?
Yeah.
Hey, Jared, my name is David. I'm calling about your mortgage with Bank of America. I'm calling in reference to the form we received about mortgage protection. Now, they have me out in your area.
Hi David, my name's Jared. My name's Jared. I'm calling about your mortgage with Bank of America. Calling in regards to the mortgage protection form we received. I'm actually the manager who handles it for your area, and they have me scheduled out in your area tomorrow. What's typically a good time to catch up with you during the day or in the evening time?
Gotcha.
Go.
Ring.
Hello?
Hey, may I please speak with Jared?
Yes.
Hey, Jared, my name is David. I'm calling about your mortgage with Bank of America. Calling in reference to the mortgage protection form we sent you out in the mail.
So you can
Set you up.
It's like on the piece
No,
of paper.
and then we don't want you reading from, I don't want you reading from information, because that's their stuff. So, hi, my name is Sherry, I'm about your mortgage with Bank of America, calling in reference to the form we received in. You got it?
What do you say? I'm the
Yeah.
manager assigned to your area.
I'm actually the manager that handles your area.
I'm the manager that handles your area.
And
And they have me out in your
They have
area.
me scheduled out in your area tomorrow. It's a good time to catch up, typically a good time to catch up. All right, there you go.
Ring.
Hello?
Hey, man, please speak with Jared.
Yes.
Hey, Jared, my name is David. I'm calling about your mortgage with Bank of America. Calling in reference to the mortgage protection form in the mail. Now, they have me out in your area.
All right.
I'm the manager that's assigned to your area.
And that's not your problem, so I'm calling in reference to the mortgage protection form we received.
Calling in reference to the mortgage.
Nothing to do with the mail or anything, you want to make it their fault that you got it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
By the way, this is really scary to stand up here and do this in front of
No,
you. so
it
kudos
yeah,
to
it
you.
kind of is.
No, it isn't. Everybody else in here didn't want to do it. see?
You're awesome, David.
That's right. Let's go.
Ring.
Hello?
Hi, may I please speak with Jared?
Yes.
Hey, Jared, my name is David. I'm calling
Calling about your mortgage.
calling about your mortgage with Bank of America.
Calling
Calling in reference to the mortgage protection form that you sent in. Calling in reference to the mortgage protection.
form. That was fine.
Okay,
You
all right.
said it's fine.
Okay, I'm calling in reference to the mortgage protection form you sent in. Now, I'm the manager that's assigned for your area, and they have me out there tomorrow evening. Okay, or they have me out there tomorrow. Does day or evening work best for you?
Are you typically available there today or the evening?
Okay.
And you'll get your own wording down,
Right.
but you want to have a similar quote.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
All right, let's do it again.
One more time.
All right, ring.
Hello?
Hey, man, can I speak with Jared?
Yes.
Hey, Jared, my name is David. I'm calling about your mortgage with Bank of America. Calling in reference to the mortgage protection form you sent in. Okay, they have me out. I'm the manager that's assigned to your area, and they have me out in your neighborhood tomorrow. Does morning or evening typically work best for you?
Evening time.
Okay, fantastic. How's 6:30 work?
All right. So why did you say, okay, fantastic?
It was a win.
No, I mean, were sitting there talking and he made a comment about recruiting. Remember what I said about his voice inflection?
Yes.
What did he just do right now?
Yes.
He just got excited, right?
Excited.
Didn't I say that to you earlier? Okay. I said, I bet he gets excited when he gets on the phone and he starts trying to book an appointment. You cannot let your voice start moving.
Okay.
Because if you get excited, you lost, you lose it.
Okay.
So that's what people do, like when they're like, hey, like they're like, oh God, I got someone on the phone, hey. They get all excited about it. Don't do that. You just want to be very level and I may speak to Dave, hey Dave, my name's Jared, I'm calling about your mortgage protection area, I'm calling reference to the form you sent in regards to mortgage protection. I'm the manager who handles it for your area, then you schedule out an area tomorrow, what's a good time to sit, we catch up with you during the day or evening?
All right, let's do it again.
You got it? Yeah. No, okay, great, like I'm not even booking a real phone booth.
What is it?
Ring, ring. Hey, man, please speak with Jared. Yes. Hey, Jared, my name is David. I'm calling about your mortgage with Bank of America. I'm calling in reference to the form you sent in regards to mortgage protection. Okay, I'm the manager that's assigned to your area, and they have me out in your neighborhood tomorrow. Does morning or evening typically work best for you?
Evening time.
Okay, we can do 6:30. Does that work for you?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that, because if you give them a time, I would say, okay, evening times, what time do you usually
Time do you
get
get
off
off
work?
work? Okay.
Yeah. So, but you,
All right, let's do it
give
again.
them a round of applause.
Let's do it again.
So the first time I ever dialed, I called my manager and I said, hey, I'm having problems booking appointments. He said, your phone's good. And I said, I went through it. And I sounded all excited.
Right.
He said, you go drink a beer, or go take a shot, or have a glass of wine, or do something like that. You gotta calm the hell down. I was like, okay. I drank 2 shots and I was out. It was bad. It's just too much. Oh my God, I'm a lightweight. But you know what I'm saying? So just, if you need to take a break, or just breathe a little bit, relax while you're dialing, because you don't want to be excited.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Because like if you get someone who says, hey, I'm really busy, you don't want to be like, oh my God, I can't get, like I love when people go, someone calls and they said, they're calling Monday, and I said, when's your appointment for? They're like, I booked an appointment. I said, great, when's you book it for? Sunday. It's Monday. Like, what's the rule of thumb? 24,
48 hours.
No longer. And people go, well, that's the only time they had available, so I booked it. I was like, you know what you should have done? If you couldn't plow over it, you should have just been like, I'll tell you what, I'll call you next time I'm in town. Take care. Just hung up and called back. Yes.
Just sales 101, might be repetitive for you, because you're young, and that's part of the age as well, is that I would make a printed thing that says slow down. And when you're just leave it right there in front of you. I think you would agree.
No.
A big sticky note or whatever it is when you're talking to somebody, you know the script.
Yeah,
put it right
low and
there.
slow.
Slow down.
Low and slow.
The guy who's talking super fast.
Yeah.
Well, when I'm on the phone, I slow down.
Right.
So, yeah, I would agree with that. So, and just, don't be fidgety or nervous.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You did good job. Do you want to try it one more time?
Yeah.
All right. Ring, ring.
Hello. Hey, man, please speak with Jared.
Yes.
Hey, Jared, this is David. I'm calling in reference to your mortgage with Bank of America. Calling in reference to the mortgage protection form that you sent in. Now, I'm the manager that's assigned for your area, and they have me out in your neighborhood tomorrow. Does morning or evening typically work best for you?
Evening times.
Okay, can we do 6:30?
No.
What time to get home from work?
I don't get home until 6:30.
Okay, perfect. How does 7 work for you? Didn't I?
No, I mean, that's better.
I'm catching it.
What I would do is, I always think it's good to not give first option to it.
Okay.
So I want to control it a little bit as much as I can. So I would say, hey, listen, I have nothing close to 6:30 available, but I'll tell you what, I have 7:30 available. Like if they said, hey, I can do 7:30, I'd be like, listen, I don't have 7:30 available, but I do have a 7:45 available.
Okay.
I don't want to give them I don't want to give them their first choice.
Right.
You know what I mean? You want to try it one more time?
Yeah.
All right, go for it.
What does that do?
It controls, it just
Psychological.
establishes dominance. That's it, yeah. Because if they start to control right away, they're gonna control the whole situation forever.
You're gonna start asking questions.
Not even that, stop it. You see what I'm saying? Like they're going to, when you get to the house, when you get to the house, you're gonna have to worry about them controlling the situation from the house, and it's everything, they just gain all control. So I don't wanna give them that first option, that they're like, if they go, I'm available at 8 o'clock, I'm not gonna say, oh, I can do 8. I'm gonna say, well, I can't do 8, but I can do 8:15. Oh, okay, that'll work, not perfect. And I don't care, you show up at 8, I just don't wanna tell them the time that they asked for. Makes sense? Go for it.
Rain.
Hello?
Hey, may I please speak with Jared?
Yes.
Hey Jared, this is David. I'm calling in reference to your mortgage with Bank of America.
Okay.
I'm calling in reference to the mortgage protection sheet that you mailed in. Now, I'm the manager that's assigned to your area. I'm gonna be out in your neighborhood. They're gonna have me out in your neighborhood tomorrow. What time do you typically get home? Does morning or evening usually work best?
Hey, at least, here's the cool part. You're catching yourself.
Yes, yes.
Which is a good sign because it means that you're aware of where you're messing up.
Right.
So you just need to work on it a little more. If you send an email, I'll see the audio recording of it. All right, give them a round of applause. It takes a lot of nerve to get up in front of people. No, seriously, that's super hard. Half the room, they say over 50% of the room has fear of public speaking. So I mean, that's a good thing. So good.
I think he has the right voice inflection and everything. I think that people are gonna respond well to him.
No, as he finished up there, I think it was great.
Yeah, he's got a kind of a commanding, presence. I think he's
When he said fantastic is when it went downhill.
Yeah.
You used to go and start clapping out loud at yourself. Anybody have any questions about phone script, objections, anything like that? It's your one time, I mean, you guys are, yeah.
So instead of saying fantastic, what's the right response?
When they say, I have an availability, or when you typically available during the day or evening time, I have a, or what time do you get home from work? 6 o'clock. I have a, I can't do 6, but I can do 7 o'clock. And they go, okay, that'll work. Be like, okay, I have you down at 1, 2, 3. You want to just be level the whole time. You want to act like it's kind of almost, you're almost, someone taught me a long time ago, you want to act like it's almost kind of an annoyance to you. That you have to go out to there anyway, and so you don't want to sit there and get overly excited about what you're doing. Oh, great, I look forward to seeing you then. Nope, don't do it. You start doing stuff like that, done. I'm not trying to be friends with them on the phone, I'm not trying to make an acquaintance, I'm not trying to small talk, I'm trying to book an appointment. That's it.
You expect them to book it with you.
What's that?
You expect them to book it with you.
Every time. And people used to ask me all the time when I used to dial. I used to dial at 10 o'clock in the morning and I'd be done by like 11, 11:30. I was done for the whole week. Dialing by 10, by 11:30. I'd have all my phones booked. And people always say, well, what about people who don't get home at night? They still answer their cell phones. Everybody answers their cell phones these days. Man, unless you're in a meeting, your phone rings, you answer that sucker. It don't matter if you're at work. You know what I mean? People answer their cell phones. So, does that make sense? Yeah, and I always expect appointments booked. If I got on the phone right now, start that way. I expect everybody I call to book an appointment with me. So, yes, sir.
Yeah, I had some problems with some potential customers.
Okay. Is it a booking an appointment problem, or is it an in-home problem?
Is the response from that person that says that I got insurance, I got a mortgage insurance,
Oh.
I never get to it.
That's it. It's not already got it? You just need to be, here's the deal.
Trying to explain that is not the same as the
You don't want to,
protection.
you don't want to explain anything. You don't want to get into explaining anything on the phone at all, ever. You really don't. And I know it's gonna, some people, it's really kind of counterproductive to what they think works. You just don't want to get in and explain, because if you go, oh no, this isn't this isn't the same thing you have, then you're questioning their intelligence at that point. Because they think they have it, you're saying they don't, and now you're questioning their intelligence. So now basically, you know what they hear when you say that? You're an idiot, listen to what I say. And you go, no, I'm not saying that. Yeah, that's what it sounds like to them. Is that you're telling them they're an idiot, because you're telling them they don't have it, and they're saying they do. So rather than try to buck up against them, just be like, hey, absolutely, I completely understand. My job is just to get the information you requested out from us. What's a good time to run it by during the day or in the evening time?
The banks are selling mortgage protection, the banks.
Yes, they do.
What's that? Hey, listen, I don't know. That's not my job. My job is to book an appointment. Absolutely no big deal. My job is just to get the information you requested over from you. What's a good time to do during the day or in the evening time? One thing I know is if someone's gotten coverage, and listen, I know all the people you guys came from, all the competitors people came from that moved to our company, we can beat all of them. We have more carriers than almost every single company in the country does. And so we can always beat a product if we need to beat it. So I'm not worried about it. They already got it taken care of and trying to compete with somebody. I just need to book the appointment. Get me in front of somebody, I'm closing a deal. Make sense? So when someone sits there and tries to buck you on the phone, absolutely no big deal. My job is just to get the information you requested over. What's a good time to run it by during the day and evening time? Does that make sense? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions? Yes?
What is the average time of an appointment? Once you're there?
45 minutes an hour typically. Some are gonna be a lot shorter. Some you walk in and they're like, yes, here's my check. Just write me a call. And it take like 20 minutes. Then some you're gonna go in and you're gonna have to do the full sales process. You know what I mean? So it just depends. So 45 minutes an hour is typical.
What I'm having,
Just like 3, you got problems you talk about.
I'm having issues with these, 62 to 79 to 82 years old. And
What's your problem?
It's expensive.
it's very, very expensive, so my attitude.
Hallie, we already discussed this. There's a product, there's a way we sell those that works very, very well. So we'll talk about how to sell those. We'll actually have Hallie come on and talk about it.
Okay, well, good, because,
Yeah. But booking the appointment shouldn't be hard with me at all. It should be, matter of fact, those should be the easiest ones. You're like,
I
oh,
don't
what?
have trouble booking it all.
It's just in them.
It's
Yeah, we'll teach you.
selling a high dollar monthly product.
All right, so here's what I will say, and this is one thing to know. And we'll, listen to this first. Any questions on phone script? And remind me what you're talking about. We'll talk about it. Any other questions, phone script? Anything, objections, phone script, questions? No? You guys are all gonna be pros after you leave here? If not, David will Bruce will leave. Yes. Anything that's totally off the wall, different than you're used to, that you're uncomfortable with, or, you know?
Well, I feel, and I'm sorry I'm talking so much, but
No, I like questions and comments and concerns.
I would feel a little shaky because when, you know, you're asking medical questions, you're asking health, and you're asking, and you don't know any of that going in.
Yeah, I don't want to know any
You
of
know,
that.
it's wide open what you can find once you get there.
Yeah, it is. I'm gonna teach you how to handle it.
Okay.
I got you. It works really well. I promise. Anybody else got any questions on any of that? Any in-home stuff or phone script, anything like that? Yes?
What number do we call it as you send it to us?
You can just email, and I'll send you a video copy.
On your cell phone?
Yep. It's actually posted on YouTube. We just have it blocked out, so we'll send you the unblocked out version of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I found it on the website.
My phone script?
Uh-huh, the recording,
Yeah,
uh-huh.
but you have access to my website, right?
Yeah.
No one in here does.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got the insider info, yeah. I went on there and listened to a bunch of stuff. It's really good.
Does it work?
Yes, sir.
All right,
It's
there you
really
go.
good.
Any other questions about phone script at all? All right, wanna take 10? Let's take 10 minutes. Take 5. Take 10. We'll be back at 1 o'clock, or at noon. All right, so any questions real quick about the phone script anymore? The phone script stuff? No questions? Yes, sir. Go ahead. Just fire away. Health questions and people will get freaked out by it, so I didn't do it. So it makes sense. But let's talk about in-home a little bit. So here's our process. Again, it's a little bit different than what probably most of you have gone through. I know we've obviously heard some, but we're going to do 3 different. We're going to go in 3 steps in the in-home process. Here's what I will pre-warn you. And you'll probably have to, and understand, you should call your manager and talk to them after we're done and explain what you're going to do. But I will tell you, the aging concierge line is a great resource that our team utilizes a lot, and I highly recommend.
Could you repeat that? I'm sorry?
The aging concierge line.
Okay.
If you can't get a hold of a manager in the house, that's your next line of defense. But here's what we want to do in-home. So step 1 is we're going to go in and small talk, and we're going to go through each one of these. Small talk. Step 2 is going to be a kill off / client worksheet. And we'll explain all this, so hang tight. And the third one is going to be, I just put this on there because everybody understands it. Phone a friend. So let's talk about those 3 real fast. So the first step is small talk. This is probably what a lot of people have one of the hardest times doing is small talking. Your job when you go into a house, and who said that? Who was talking to me about that? We were talking about that. Yep. So my job when I go into a house is not to build a friendship with a client. That's not my job. A lot of people think that small talk means create a friendship. That's not my deal. I'm not trying, I always tell people, I say, hey, be forewarned. If you get invited back over for Thanksgiving dinner, or you start eating dinner with them, you have now turned from being there to help them and sell them to being a friend. And you know what? People don't buy from friends. So just be aware. People don't buy from friends. And so you stepped into the friend zone, you are losing sales because of that. And so I would just be aware. I would just be aware that your job when you go into small talk is not to become a friend. It's to be there, to be a trusted advisor to them. And so when you walk into the house, what you want to do is you want to start small talking. Small talking is interesting because small talking, you're looking for a couple things. When you start small talking with somebody, you want to look for transition points when small talking. What do I mean by that? So there's a couple books that everybody should read, period. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. Small talk, there's a book called The Fine Art of Small Talk by Deborah Fine. And then there's a book called How to Connect in 90 Seconds or Less. I think those are must-reads for any salesperson ever. The reason why is because you need to know what small talk looks like, and then you need to know what to look for to connect. A lot of people, how to connect in 90 seconds or less is the fine art of small talk. A lot of people, yes, I can write on this side. A lot of people look at small talk as being conversations that bounce all over the place. And they're talking about different subjects. How old are you? Where do you live? You know, kids, blah, 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 blah. Here's the deal. You want to take one topic and you want to dig down when you're small talking. You can stay on one topic and small talk the whole entire time, and if you see transition points, you move from there. But if you start getting into how long they live there, how many kids they got, where they go to school, you're starting to topic jump. It's called topic hopping. You don't want to topic hop when you're doing small talk, because what happens is it takes a simple conversation that should end relatively quickly and create a lot of some connection signs to creating this long, in-depth conversation that's going to last you a long time. Your job is not to be there forever. Your job is not to sit there, because what happens, and listen, any of y'all ever sell like Kirby vacuum cleaners? Any Kirby salesmen here? No, seriously.
Rainbow.
Rainbow. Okay, hey, the same thing, right? You know what, I always tell people, you know what Kirby does so well? They wear you down, so you pay them to get the hell out of your house. That's it, right? No, seriously, that is what they do. That is what they're trying to do, is wear you out to buy. We are not there to wear out to buy. We're there to look for connection signs and move on. Not that that's a bad topic, it just can take people a couple hours. And we're not trying to be there for a couple hours. So what you need to learn how to do is dig down on one conversation. You should focus on a 3-letter word. The word is for. F-O-R. For. Family, occupation, and recreation. Those 3 words. If you keep those 3. If you should be able to stay in a family all the time, but if you can't and they won't open up, change to occupation. If you can't get them to open up occupation, change to the rec. If they don't open up a rec, leave the house, because they are just virtually dead anyway. But those should be it. So you should be able to hit down on family and target the family. And you have kids. How old are your kids? Where do they live? Do you have grandchildren? Where are pictures of them? You want to control it. So when you go into, so let's start there. So when I go into the house, let's talk about that. First of all, is anybody wearing jeans? Freddie, stand up real fast. And I use him specifically for a reason. How he's dressed right now is how I dress when I go into the house. I wear like a button-up shirt, like a polo or a long-sleeve shirt, but I always wear jeans. You can sit down, thank you. I always wear jeans. I know it's not comfortable for people to think that they should go into jeans, and I'll tell you right now, every house you go into, those people are dressed casual, correct? Mm-hmm. You should try to mirror, but be a step above. It just means that if they're wearing jeans and a t-shirt, you're wearing jeans and a dress shirt. I've never been in a house where someone's rocking a suit. I'll be lucky if they're wearing t-shirts in Florida. They're using just shorts when I get there. You know what I mean? So just try to have a nice, clean look, but casual when you're going and talking with people. Bill Martin told me he used to fly to Florida and run down there during summers, and he'd wear shorts and a t-shirt, or shorts and a polo, and flip-flops in the houses. Don't wear flip-flops, guys. But the whole point is try to maintain a little bit, try to mimic them in their casual atmosphere, but be a little bit above, not too far. You don't want to, you go in suits. I love when people are like, I was in a suit, and I was like, they didn't buy it from you either, did they? You know, people don't want to feel uncomfortable in their own houses on their days off, so just be aware. When I go into a house, I'm all about small talking. I love small talking, but the first thing you're ever gonna do, I'm gonna borrow your bag, is people, when you walk into a house, depends on what you take in, but if you take in a bag, right? People are always gonna walk you in, lead you somewhere, and point to where they want you to sit, usually at a couch, and say, have a seat. Again, maintain control. So what I would do is I'd walk over, and I'd drop my bag in front of it, and then I take off. I'd always take off from there. I don't sit down, do not let them start controlling you from there. So put your bag down, look for something you can talk to them about. If there's pictures on the wall, walk straight at those pictures and start talking to them about those pictures. Do not let them control you. First of all, couch is not where we do business, right? So the first thing is they're going to do is sit you on the couch and say, what do you got? And you don't want to be controlled like that. Everybody who's running appointments has had to deal with that at one point in their lives. And so I'm not going to sit there anyway. But the second thing is I don't want them to control what I'm doing. So I don't care if I have to stand in front of them, stand up awkwardly while they just keep trying to sit down in front of me and I just stand. I'm not sitting down. So don't sit down. Then once you're small talking, you're digging down on a topic, right? You're going to transition. Now here's the deal. Here's what you need to look for, and this is why How to Connect a 90-Second Bus is a good book to read. You're looking for two points that show they're connecting with you. Two. Always two. Right? Nodding head and smiling is one. Right? Open body posture is one. Right? Leaning forward is one. Stuff like that. Touching, if they hit you on the arm, if they're joking around, they're smiling, laughing, those are transition points. If you see transition points, I don't care if it took you 2 minutes or if it took you 20 minutes. You transition there. Here's what happens for most salespeople. And this is going to be hard with this little pin, but this is your small talk graph, right? You both start off right here. You're moving up like this when you're small talking, right? You're looking for a transition point. The small talking, when people finally get to a comfortable spot with you, is where you should transition out. But what most people do, salespeople, it's not the client's fault typically. The salespeople, they keep talking, thinking that that's going to help them. But you know what goes up must come down. And so when you get to a point where you have outworn your welcome, you start trending back downwards in your small talk. And so you actually start losing trust because they think you're wearing out, right? When we talk about Kirby, that's what we're talking about, but they just keep beating you up. And listen, I've been pitched several times by Kirby. Those guys are hardcore. Seriously, anybody that can sell a vacuum cleaner for like $1,500 by dumping dirt on my floor, and I bought one. Sells people buy. We're a bunch of suckers. Does that make sense, y'all? So you transition out. You look for connection signs. When you transition out, that's when you transition table. Hey, listen, I got some stuff I got to pull out. Can we get to a table real quick? At that point, we're going to go to a table. Here's the part what I want you guys to change a little bit if you're not doing this. Is at that point, you're going to, what we like to call, kill people off. You need to dig down and find out why they sent that form in, but you can't ask the question, why I just sent this form in, because it sounds lame. So you need to figure out what the reason is behind what's happening. So what you do, and what we do, is we use what's called a client worksheet.
Are we on number 2 yet?
We're on number 2. Yeah, we've transitioned.
I've never done a client worksheet. Have you done
We
it?
use a client worksheet. We use the sheet. You all can have a copy, or actually, I'm going to give out half the copies, because I got to take some of them to Atlanta. But if you didn't get one, I will send one to you if you want. We use a client worksheet. I think this is critical that you use it. Here's why I think it's critical. Some of you guys are good at details, the other ones aren't, but this keeps it consistent and keeps it able to be replicated by a lot of people. The reason why we fill out this client worksheet, Max, you guys use something similar.
Yeah, we do.
Do you know they're putting this on leads now, but they're going to start putting this sheet on leads?
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That's,
so it's cool.
Yeah,
it's help you out pretty good.
That's real cool.
But we use this client worksheet. So we want to ask all these questions, because what you need to do is you need to kill people off at this point. So when you get done with the questions, while you're asking, you're casually asking them the questions that are on here, which are all questions you should be asking anyway: name, age, income levels, medications, hospitalizations, insurances, 401ks, IRAs. The reason why we ask all these questions is this is for extra sales. But plus, what we do here is we sit there and go, hey Sally, hey Bob, Bob died last night. Sally, tell me what you're going to do today. And if Bob chimes up, you shut Bob down and say, Bob, you died last night. And if you died last night, Sally needs to answer this question today. And she's not going to be coached by you sitting next to her. She needs to know what to do. So tell me what you do, right? And so you need to kill people off at that point. Yeah, you need to kill them off. If you don't do that, you are missing the cell hardcore.
Yep.
Kill them off. You need to make sure that they feel the pain, because your job is to make them understand what it will look like the day they don't have that coverage and they die. Does that make sense? Kill them off. I always, after I kill off, I like to tell a story. I tell a story why it's important to me that we have this coverage. The story I tell, listen, a lot of people on my team use my story. I have a cousin at 30 years old, had a stage 4 brain tumor. The day he found out about it was the day he fell face first into his food. He got life flighted from Modesto, California to Sacramento, and he is 36 now, and he's had 6 surgeries in 6 years. You know what the crazy part is? He has a family, and he had no insurance. And guess what? You think he can ever get it? No. So the reason why it's important that we take care of your family today and make sure this doesn't happen to you is so that you don't end up like my cousin. You see where I put in that trial close? Y'all see that? Always say words like today. Does that make sense? But I'll tell you, Antonio Fisher is one of the top guys in the country now. Selling, he uses my same thing. He calls it his cousin. So, you can call it your cousin, you can call it your son. I don't care what you call it, but you need to have a story, to explain why it's important to be coverage today. Does that make sense? You need to kill off, and you need to tell a story. Everybody clear on that? Does anybody have questions about that? Yes, go ahead.
We don't have a company that will cover your cousin?
Huh?
We don't have a company that
He's 36 years old. No. He's out. He's gonna die sooner than later.
I mean, I'm not laughing at that.
No, I mean,
But
me and him talk about it all the time.
I thought everybody could get.
Because we tried to sell him insurance, so I tried to make sure he got insurance, because when they're young, well, here's the crazy part, when you sit young people, you need to emphasize the fact that it's important they get it while they're young and healthy. And you go, hey, have you ever known anybody that's died on this crazy highway out here? Yeah, don't be a dummy, get it. Because you could be that same person, leave your family hosed. So let's make sure, see, but you gotta say stuff like that to people, because people need to hear the truth. Does that make sense? So you gotta tell them the truth. So, any other questions? Okay. So you went through here. Do me a favor. Pass these out like to every other person. And then every other person? Yeah, y'all share it. So you see. And then if you need a copy of it, just email me. Once you're done filling them off and you've completed this form, the next step is where. Now here's your question. Here's the question you have right here. Right? What's your name? Here's what you have. The next step after you're done filling out the form is we simply say every time, hey, listen, we have a team of specialists standing by. We're going to call them and figure out what the best options are available for you today. All right? That's what we say. At that point, it doesn't matter what right, Freddie? That's what we say, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So at that point, that's where you're going to call and phone a friend. So that's step number 3. You're going to phone a friend at that point. Okay. Here's why it's important. Now understand, is this something that we need to do forever? While you're learning products and you're learning underwriting, and you need to know what to do, this is a good way for you to not have to remember everything. Does that make sense? So when you call a friend, like if you call, anybody ever called an concierge line and Cody Beck answers? We call it the Cody Beck hotline. So Cody Beck works at corporate office, he answers it like 90% of the time. But Cody Beck, he knows our team's script, because our team calls him all the time if they can't get a hold of the manager. I would tell you, recommend call your manager first. First line of defense is your manager, right? Or if you have multiple managers, the first line of defense is your manager. If Bruce is your manager, he doesn't know the answer to it, Bruce should divert to Max. If Max doesn't know the answer, he'll divert it to Nick. But what you should do is go, hey, I'll get you the answer, I'll call you back in 5. And call Nick and get the answer so you can learn the answer to the question, right? But the phone a friend. I have a lot of people who have a hard time with this, because they go, well, you're saying we should call people while we're in house to get quotes. I said, listen to how I said it. We have a team of specialists standing by to help determine what the best options are for you today. And then we call. Now here's the thing, it does 2 things. One, believe it or not, it makes people feel reassured about what you're doing. They think you're really making sure that you get the best options available. 2, it takes away the commission sales guy out of their minds by doing that, because now you're not determining what the best options are based upon how much you make. You're trying to help them out. Does that make sense? So
Could you repeat that one more time? I'm sorry.
What's that?
I just got a team of
We have a
specialists.
team of specialists standing by to help us determine what the best options are for you today.
Okay.
So, and that's it. Yes. go
Oh,
ahead.
I was gonna say, on my team, we let them know that the head underwriter knows that I'm here and he's standing by, but what do you think of that?
I mean, I'm not big on saying anything to do with underwriter, because technically, are any of you underwriters?
Oh,
No one's an underwriter. We're field underwriters. We're not, is that our official rule from anybody? We're a licensed insurance agent, we're not a field underwriter. So you start using technical terms that can get you in trouble, I'm not a big fan of it. Now, here's the deal. I'll leave that at your discretion, you do whatever you want to do. I don't say the field underwriter part, I just say we have a team of specialists stand by to help us determine what the best options are for you today. That's all I say.
I mean, I definitely wanna be on the up and up, so.
Hey, I mean, it's again, I'm gonna leave that, like if Max tells you to say I'm a field underwriter, say a field underwriter. I'm not a big fan, hey, listen, the one thing you're never gonna get from me is anything but the truth about how I feel about stuff. So just so you're aware, so I mean, but I just say, hey, I have a team especially standing by to help us determine what the best options are for you today. And I use today, always, all right? And then I just transition, I call, let me tell you how to call. You say, hey, listen, so if I call Max, I say, hey, Max, I'm sitting here with Bob and Sally. Always use their names, please. I love when I'm sitting, people call me and they're like, I'm sitting here with a client. I'm like, well, you just use their names, you're sitting there with them. I'm like, you know that's people's favorite sound, right? So why don't you just use their name? I'm sitting here with Bob and Sally. Bob is 55 years old, Sally is 54 years old. Their joint income is $12,000. Bob is $8,000, Sally is $4,000. Their mortgage lender is Bank of America. Their mortgage payment is this, and their mortgage balance is this. Bob is currently taking medications for this, and this. I had a bit of a concern. I love that phrase. If there's a phrase you learn from me today, if there's nothing else you learn, you learn this one phrase. I have a bit of a concern about some of the medications that Bob's taking, and I do not know if he's going to be able to qualify. The reason why you say I have a bit of a concern is because it's a takeaway from them. Any salespeople or person should know that people want what they can't have. And if you do a takeaway from them, it automatically piques their interest and they pull in closer to you. And then when you give it back to them, you make a big deal out of giving it back to them. But I have a bit of a concern about some of the medications Bob's taking. He's on this, and this. The one thing I'll pre-warn you for, and this is for everybody in here, regardless of what you do, never act like anybody taking medication selfie. No offense if you're taking medication, but if I was sitting in your house and you were taking blood pressure medication, I wouldn't say, other than blood pressure, he looks perfect. Don't say that. You're giving away, you're making it sound like this product is available for everybody. You're ruining the seller. Don't do that. Have a big concern. He's on a blood pressure medication. I want to make sure we can get him covered. Say it every time. I don't care if they're taking a Tylenol regimen. I have a big concern. They're taking Tylenol regimen. I want to make sure we can get them covered and try to do it with a straight face. Right? But do not ever give away the sell. So go through. Hey, I got a big concern. Here's some of the medications. Also, it says in the last 15 years surgeries. All right. Then it says current life insurance. I always say, hey, do you have any life insurance in place? Yeah, I do. What can you grab your policy for me real fast? Always make them go do stuff. Can you grab your policy real fast? I like them when I told them to get their policy, Bob, I used to say, hey, can you grab your policy? By the way, while you're up, go ahead and grab your driver's license. I need to verify your information anyway. So I can just make them go get their driver's license at the same time because I'm gonna need it for that anyway. You just get ready to do those closes, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't why make you get up 14 times? Go do it all now. Same with medications. If they go, hey, I'm on a few medications, great, go grab them all. Go make them pull out every single medication for you. Every one. If they say I have a list, I don't want a list. Pull the medications out. I want to see the bottles. Because if their list says blood pressure, or have you ever seen this? Have any of y'all ever seen this? People pull a list and have all medications they've taken for 40 years on there. I'm like, you're on 14 blood pressure medications? No, I just got switched around and kept them on the same list. I'm like, man, whatever. Why do you need to keep them all on there? Make them pull out all their medications. Once you get all that stuff, go through life insurance, pull them out. Hey, do you have anything? This is a very critical. This question right here is one of the biggest money maker questions there is. Do you have anything that acts like insurance? Example, mutual fund, CD, IRA, 401k, annuity, a SEP, or a 403b. Do you have anything that acts like that? Yes, I have an old 401k in place. Great. How much is it for? How long have you had it? Great. Okay, thank you. And then you just write it down and you move on. But that's for going back after the fact for another sale. Then you say, all right, I have a team specialist standing by. We're going to give them a call, see what the options are available for you today. You call your team specialist, your manager, concierge line, you get a couple different options. Hey, I'd like to get some options for them for this, this, and this, okay? That's what you, and then you run through. When you were done, can you write them down? Let me borrow your pen. You write them down, boom, 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 you wrote everything down. You simply, be clear, you're done writing, you turn it around, you slide it in front of them, and you say, which options are the best available for you, or which option is best for you today? And you make them circle, please circle it. Make them circle the option. And then you shut up and don't talk again until they talk. Or ask a question. If you talk, you lose. Don't talk. First one talk. Yep, always. First one talk always loses. So you don't, so you want to get, but you want to make them, give them the pen to make them make a commitment. Circle. Anybody ever sell cars in here? Cars? Car guys, you should understand this, right? What do you do? Hey, if I can get you this price today, would you buy it? Yes, here, sign right there. I just need to take it to my manager. Right? It's a commitment. Do people buy when they sign it? Yep. When they say, well, I don't know, I got to think about it, they're not going to buy it. So flip the paper over. Here's the options available for you today. Which one worked best for you today? And then hand them a pen, put it down, and have them say, please circle which one worked best for you today. And then shut up. Just sit back and lean back in your seat. Play on your phone. I don't care. Just don't talk. Don't play on your phone. You can. I used to do that and act like I was actually doing work on my phone and just play a game. And then keep me from talking. I'll let them talk amongst themselves forever. I don't care. But don't talk. Does that make sense? Any questions? Do you have any questions? Does that help you with some of it? You ask a question.
No, I'll just have to adjust the way that I
got you.
think,
Yeah.
do things.
Here's the deal. This is not, if you're a veteran person and you're having success, like Holly wrote $22,000. Listen, if she doesn't do it this exact way, I don't care. That's her own style. If somebody else in the back of the room says, hey, I go on and write 15, 20, 30,000 bucks a month, ain't no big deal. Do what you do. That's it. What I'm teaching you to do right here is what a new person who needs to go close sales immediately does. And that's how we get people selling so quickly. It's because we need that. Right, Max? That's what I talked to you about.
You know, that's why I'm here taking notes, because I've only had my license 13 months, and this guy's been doing it for 10 years, and I promise you this, you don't make $1 million a year unless you know what you're doing, and that's what he's doing, so pay attention.
Well, yeah, that's very
So, but we don't want you to have to think about what underwriting stuff. Like, we want you to learn underwriting techniques, and we really want you to start studying them. But what we don't want you to do is feel like you're not capable to run a sale because you don't know enough right now. And that's what happens a lot of the time. People start getting scared and they don't want to run because they get into a house and they can't close a deal because they don't know what the underwriting techniques are, and they don't call. And we get a lot of people, like we used to just say, hey, tell them you're calling a manager because you don't know which product. And we would have people that wouldn't do it because they felt like it was beneath them to call. So we said, hey, tell them you're calling a team of specialists, and you have a team of specialists standing by to help determine what the best options are for the day. People loved it, and so they were like, okay, so we've had a lot of success with that.
No, I've had my license for 20 years, and I've done this a long, long time.
Yeah. It's easy.
Yes.
Sounds easy, doesn't it?
Well, Equus is a great company. I mean, I've been
We're
with
bringing
lots of other companies, and this one beats it, every other company, hands down, so.
Well, thank you. We appreciate it. Barry Clarkson would love to hear that. Send him an email. Tell him how you love it. I'm not even kidding. God, what is wrong with this board? It's a horrible. The problem is it's dying in my hands. I don't know. There's nothing in there that's working very well, so they're going to turn the drawers. Hey, come up here real fast, Al. I'm going to make you talk in front of people. The one thing, obviously, we have you. So when we do these options, let us explain this to you, because I think this is important. Hallie made a point about this, and I used to sell it the same exact way. So I'll have her explain it to you. But we always gave 3 different options. So I always like to give 3 options. I always give full mortgage, full, partial. By the way, let me clarify something for you. What did we sell?
Mortgage protection.
Life insurance.
Okay, so half you got it right, half you got it wrong. What did we sell?
Mortgage protection.
We sell mortgage protection. Here's a common mistake people have, is they call it life insurance. Now, it is a life insurance product. The problem is when you go into a house and someone mails in a form, what did they mail it back for?
Mortgage protection.
And then you try to switch them out and sell them life insurance. What do they think you're doing? They think
Bait and
you're doing
switch.
Exactly. So when you refer to everything, you refer to it as mortgage protection. So we have three options for them. We have full mortgage coverage, partial mortgage coverage, and then we sell critical time period. All right? Now, I don't think critical time period is talked about, and that's what Hallie's going to explain how she explains it, but who asked about the selling high mortgages? To older clientele, this is the way this is the way I used to sell it, and then this is the way Hallie sells it, because I will tell you, probably a third of your business is going to be that clientele. And so, because you gotta remember, those people are looking more towards that time of their life where they'll absolutely need it. And so you're gonna run into that a lot more, so full mortgage, partial mortgage, critical time period. You wanna explain it? You need that?
Sure.
Explain, go ahead.
So basically, there's gonna be a lot of older people that they can't afford their home mortgage coverage. But the idea of mortgage protection isn't necessarily to pay off the mortgage, it's to make sure that they can protect the equity in the home. Because if something happens, and they don't have anything in place, how is that wife or daughter or son or grandchild gonna pay that mortgage in order to keep that home where they don't lose it to the bank? So basically, I just tell them, I say, look guys, if I already know I'm gonna be going critical period, I just tell them right away, I'm like, there's two different kinds of mortgage protection. There's the mortgage payoff, and then there's the mortgage protection plan. The mortgage payoff, about 10% of people do that, you know? I just don't know, because it makes them feel better. And honestly, I sell more mortgage payment options than mortgage payouts anyways, because a lot of people can't afford to get their home mortgage covered. I mean, who can afford a, $300 to $600 payment a month if they're, in their 60s or 70s or something like that. So the mortgage payment option is, if something happens to them, we put enough in the policy to where they have enough, to pay the mortgage for, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Basically just buy them enough time to figure out, what they're gonna do. Or maybe at that time, their wife can take that, put it down on a down payment on a refinance, and get something she can afford monthly. Basically, it's helping them protect their equity so they don't lose their home to the bank. So all I do is I just say, I'm gonna start out with, a year, year and a half, and 2 years of mortgage payment options. So I take their mortgage, like say it's $1,000 a month. I'm just like, so how much would you have monthly mortgage? $1,000 a month, great. So I write 12 months, 18 months, and 24 months. I don't write the amount, 12,000, 18,000, and 24,000. All right, 12 months, 18 months, and 24 months.
Hey, if there's anything you learn from this, what she just said right there needs to be emphasized.
Yeah.
She's not writing 10 grand, 15 grand, 20 grand, she's writing 12, 18, and 24. That's more important than writing face amounts, because face amounts don't resonate with people, that does, and so that will sell a lot of policies for you, just so you know. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then I just, times whatever their mortgage is by 12, 18, and 24, and I put that as a death benefit. And I say, look, so if something happens to you, then your wife is gonna have enough to pay the mortgage for a year and a half, 2 years. As I know we can go up, we can go down, it really just is based on your budget. Because the thing is that just because they have health issues doesn't mean that they can get a whole life plan, and we can't get something in place to protect that equity. So, but we just have to, work, like you have to word it a different way.
This is gonna be the benefit.
Good? Does anybody have questions about that? Yes.
So when you're talking to somebody who's on a fixed income and they're kind of worried about if something happens to the primary breadwinner. And you say, okay, you have $1,000 a month mortgage payment, your death benefit for 12 months is gonna be $12,000. Your death benefit for 18 months will be $18,000. Okay, so say it again so I understand.
Okay. So I say, basically if something happens to you,
Mm-hmm.
then there's gonna be enough money in that policy that's gonna go to your spouse so that they can pay the mortgage for 12 months, 18 months, or 24 months to give them enough time to figure out what they're gonna do. And if they say, oh man, that doesn't seem like enough time, like, cool, so how many months would you be able to pay Sally? How many months would you go to pay the mortgage right now if something were to happen to Bob?
2.
Yeah, so do you think a year would help you out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I'm telling you, that will sell a lot of policies. Yeah.
So, quick question, let's say that the 12-month plan is still out of reach in terms of budget.
I go down to 6 months and 9 months all the time.
Okay. Dude, you do what they can afford.
Yeah.
Your job is to sell.
I've had someone get 3 months before.
Okay.
So where does the premium come in?
So,
Like the payment?
Yeah, the premium that they're gonna
so
pay.
you just calculate, so, say we're doing Forester's plan right, like their whole life, because they can't get this strong
I think
foundation.
she's talking about monthly payment, not the face amount. Is that what you're talking
Are you
about, face amount? She's talking about.
Yeah,
Face
like,
amount.
yeah,
Oh,
the,
you're covered. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
yeah.
You just take the definite, so say 12 months is, you know, their mortgage is $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
So that's $12,000. So you just put that in the little calculator, the premium calculator, and you calculate the premium for $12,000. For
Okay.
$18,000.
Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
But she doesn't put, you don't put $12,000 on there.
No, I put 12 months, 18 months, and 24 months.
So you always phrase it in terms of time.
Right, yeah, I always phrase it,
Instead of month.
yeah.
Do you put the premium amount?
Yeah, so let's say this one's, you know, let's say that mortgage payoff option for like, you know, a 70-year-old was like, you know, $515 a month, right? Well, then we could put, you know, this one's probably like, you know, 72, and this one's, you know, 91, and this one's, you know, 120, something like that. You know, so I just say, you know, because I always like, I don't even really look this one up, I just say, I mean, if I know that they're sick and they're not gonna get qualified.
Right.
I just say, look, guys, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I was like, we can try to go for this one, but it's probably gonna be about another mortgage payment. It's gonna be anywhere between, you know, $500–700 a month. Now, if you're comfortable with that, we can try for it. If you're not, let's go with this other option. They're usually like, yeah, no. So then I'm like, great. So then whenever because I already said this is gonna be like $500–700 a month. So when I start pulling out stuff like this, they're like, oh man, that looks great, right? That's awesome. We can do that. Can we get some more? Yeah, sure. Let's go for. And if I need to get more, I'll mix two companies together because you know how a lot of the OLEC caps out.
That answer your question about selling?
Yeah, I knew about that.
You use it every time?
Well, I haven't been out in the.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
What is the most fixed amount you can do on each company?
40 grand is the max on the, are you talking about critical?
It depends on their age.
Like a Forster?
Like a critical time period is gonna be your whole life product, so 40 is gonna be usually the max for most of the companies.
35.
Yeah, 35, 40, and then,
Unless it's Gerber, 25.
Forster's mortgage product is gonna be $400,000 now, and then their top age is 80.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's a good product. So we're Forster's #1 company in the country because of that product, so it's a strong foundation. We're Forster's #1 company in the country, period.
On all their products.
All our products. Smart, you guys love us.
You write mostly Foresters with it?
I try to write Foresters every single time.
Can you write multiple policies with the same client, with the same company?
Yeah, like a strong foundation and a plan, right? Like a.
No, like
a
two
term
of
and a whole
these,
life?
like they max it out at 36
No.
months. Can you do a second policy?
Yeah, you have to go to another company.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You're asking us to call our manager or the agent concierge. How do we incorporate this if we're doing that?
I would just tell them, hey, we're looking at getting coverage for a critical time period. Can you run some quotes for that?
Okay.
Yeah, and just say what are the best options for the critical time period.
Okay.
Usually we'll do that anyway, but if you like, you know, and we'll base it off their health or age. Like if you called me, if Hallie was calling me, say I have a 75-year-old that's taking this, and this, I wouldn't even go for full coverage. I would just go, let's go with critical time period. It's gonna be the best option available for them.
So critical time period is another way of saying the partial amount of the mortgage.
No, it's critical time period is for the first 2 years after the event of death is your most critical time, so it covers the house mortgage and payments
Okay.
for 2 years.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, if I remember correctly, if you Google mortgage protection, it talks about a decreasing amount over time. And so I think that scares some people.
You know, every once, and Hallie can answer this too, she writes a lot, every once in a blue moon, I will ask somebody who run into a question with decreasing coverage. I didn't run into it very often ever, you know, and then if they said, is this decreasing? I'd be like, no, it's, you know, it's level, but wouldn't you rather have a product that's gonna pay your family out the full amount forever? Yeah, okay, yeah. Amy, how about you?
That's an old.
I always.
That's the old time, no, the new time.
Because usually whenever I'm looking at the mortgage payment option, I'm offering 3 different options. Say their mortgage is $100,000, I'm offering 175 and 50. But I'm not gonna offer that without explaining it's not a decreasing first. So I always say, this isn't like a mortgage protection.
By the way, she sells a lot, she still calls when she's in houses. It's a great sales strategy.
Yeah.
You still call it, what did you
She still calls when she's in houses. Like, if she'll call me
Oh,
and
yeah.
run through your stuff with me, like, I don't even answer her with, like, quotes or anything. She just goes, you know, they're on this, this, and this, and I go, yeah, they can get covered for whatever.
Just
She
third
goes,
party
"Okay,
validation."
appreciate it, thank you very much. You know, it's just, I'm telling you, it's all about the sales.
Tomorrow night, ball game.
Yeah, oh, no, seriously,
It
that's how it goes.
makes them feel like a whole team is working for them instead of just one person. So it just makes them feel more comfortable.
I'm telling you, our team uses GroupMe. We have hundreds upon hundreds of people on there, and I'm not kidding. If somebody can't get a home manager, they go in-house help and put their number, somebody calls them back right away. It's big time team effort. We want to make sure people get help because we know it's important.
So do you ever, oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Ask questions. No,
Oh.
I like it. I like questions. Go ahead.
Do you ever like talk with people about why they filled out that form? So, you know, so we've got this form, you, obviously you were thinking about
That's
getting the mortgage.
the killing off part. That's the killing off. Rob Jones said it best. He said, if you ever ask people why they sent that form in, he said, you better be really good at what you're talking about because you're gonna get dumb responses real quick. Why did you send that form? I just want to see how much it costs.
I thought I had to, it looked official.
Yeah. So instead of doing that, kill them off.
Just open yourself up.
Use information against them. Use information.
So that's how you started, so, okay.
I do the small talk, then I warm up, I pull the client works, hey, I always just say, hey, I got a form I gotta fill out that helps us identify all the information about you, what's the best option available for you. Then I go through it, and then when I utilize it, I utilize information. Information is your best resource. So if somebody puts on there, I make, $4,000 and she's a stay-at-home mom, or she makes $4,000, he's a stay-at-home dad, I use it against them.
But your story comes before you start
No, my
asking all
story-
these personal
No.
personal questions.
No, not at all. My story didn't come forward, kind of is intertwined in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't do any kind of a presentation, what's his name, Bruce?
A flip chart?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so out.
No.
So out.
Like, so how do you get them to like sit down and start giving you all this information? What is the thing that you say to them? Like, okay, so,
You're having problems small talking.
oh, I've only done.
That's the problem. If you're running into that issue, it's a small talk issue. It's not a getting information
I
issue.
guess I was thinking your transition from your small talk to your,
No.
okay, let's do this.
No.
Yeah.
I just also you just have to be very assumptive when you're sitting in your home.
Push.
You
Okay.
assume,
You
like
push.
I assume I'm going in home because I'm going in there to help them.
Mhm.
I'm not going in there to sell anything, I'm going in there to help them, and I assume that they're putting an application ready to go in and help their family.
Mhm.
So I don't really ask questions.
You're gonna just come out and say, I'm not here to say anything. She doesn't like standing up here talking.
Just making money.
Yeah. Any more questions about it, home whatsoever, or anything like that? No?
Come out and say, I'm here to help, I'm here to sell, something like that.
I think when you start doing that, I mean, this is just my opinion on stuff. I mean, when you start doing stuff like that, you're actually feeding them information, saying you are something. Listen, I try to make the conversation as casual as possible. I'm not pushy, but I am assertive and I get my way. Like, so you have to be willing. I mean, guys, we're in a high commission sales position. Your job is a closer. You are the hammer. You have to push, but you just have to push in your own fashion. Like, so when someone says, like, what's the number one objection you're meeting? Oh, I need to think about it. Like, you need to be able to turn to them and go, I'm confused. What do you need to think about? You just got done telling me, Bob and Sally, that if Bob died, Sally has no money, has no plan at all. You don't want to risk just thinking about it you don't want to risk that just by thinking about it for a couple of days, because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, right? I mean, our job is to sell fear. That's what it is. I mean, right? Because that's all you can get out of it. I mean, why do you have car insurance? In case I get in a car wreck, right? I don't want to get in a car wreck. I'm not planning on getting in a car wreck, but I have it in case. You see what I'm saying? So your job is to sell that fear. And it's to be put a little bit pushy in a nice way. So when they say stuff like, I just want to think about it, like, hey, like, you need to look at them like they're ding-dongs. And be like, I don't understand what you, like, I always tell people, I'm like, you know what, have any of y'all ever taken drama in school? Any of y'all take drama? Some of y'all want to admit it. Thank you, I appreciate it. One guy, I took drama too. So, 2 of us did drama, no one else did. I always say the best thing to do with this business is to be a little bit more dramatic when you're in the house. Like, you want to overemphasize the points that need to be overemphasized. That's why I said, like I used to tell people when I came back after going, and I got a bit concerned about some of their medication. Is there anything they have, can we get them covered at all? Is there anything we can do with this? He really wants the coverage, but I'm concerned about it. And on the other end, one of the manager used to laugh at me because I would really oversell it. And then when he comes back, he goes, "Hey, we can do it." I always give him over dramatizing. What do you think they do on TV and commercials? You know what I mean? What do you think they do? Any of y'all seen like a Viagra commercial? Seriously, does it ever look like that? And you got that throw y'all off with that one? You know, on top of the bathtub and the sun, and the trees blowing in the wind, and you're like, is that what it's gonna look like when I take a pill? I'm like, oh. It is what it looks like. Alright, now I'm embarrassed because we talked about Viagra with Max. Any other in-home questions on tape? It's on tape.
Let's get out of home.
No more in-home stuff. Right. Hey, so here's the deal. Max and I are going to talk about recruiting in just a second, but I did want to talk to y'all about this. How many of y'all, how many of y'all were at our last summer convention? How many of y'all were at our last summer convention? Were you there?
Orlando?
Yeah, you were. Yeah. So there's 4 of you. Do y'all want to come and talk about this real fast with me?
If you were at Orlando last time.
Yeah.
Can I say just a couple of things?
We're not done yet. Don't say anything yet.
No, I'm not saying anything about that. What I want to say is being in control of the conversation at all times is what he's talking about. If you ever hear him on the calls, you ever hear me on the call, you hear we command the room, we command the conversation, we do it with passion, we do it every time. And that's all we're saying is that when you're in the house, you go over dramatizing, you're doing the things that you're doing in the house, you know, and calling your manager, which is what we do. You just have to be in control of the situation. Anybody that's timid in the house, people feel nervous about it, like you're trying to cheat them or lie to them or whatever. Just be confident, be relaxed, just tell them what to do. You know, that's what you gotta do. You just gotta learn how to do that.
All right, thanks. Sorry, I'm talking about my blue hands. From white.
Stay away from me.
So we have a national convention coming up. I will tell you, I've been in this business 9 years, a little over 9 years now. And when I first started, the first convention I ever went to was 4 days after I started. And I could tell you, I'm honestly, I think it's probably the most valuable investment you can make. It's the only thing once a year, or twice a year, that someone asks you to invest in yourself, and it's not much, it's $149. They are bringing in, any of y'all know who John Gordon is? John Gordon, the author. Any of y'all sports fans? How about any Cowboys fans here?